back to the stream. My apologies that we are running extremely late. As you can see, I'm in a totally different environment because instead of live streaming from the studio, well, we had some tech problems, and we're still having tech problems as I am having this conversation with you. And basically what happened is our OBS, and I know you don't really care about this, but I'm sharing it with you anyway. Our OBS basically, or not our OBS, sorry, our Streamlabs OBS is having actually we tried Streamlabs, we tried OBS, we tried XSplit, and like 2 other pieces of software, and none of our encoders are talking to YouTube. Whereas if I just go live right here directly through the browser, it's letting me talk to YouTube, which is awesome. However, this is it. Like we're not switching cameras. We are not. We got the audio is a little bit fuzzy. Okay. Yeah. So we've got. Yeah. So basically, I can like answer questions, but I can't pull anything up on the screen or anything like that. Like this is it. Like what you see is definitely what you get. Absolutely. So today, this Nimmin Live is going to be a little bit different. Of course, it is still brought to you by the kind folks at TubeBuddy, which is the #1 browser plugin for YouTube content creators. You can get TubeBuddy at tubebuddy.com/Nimmin. Link to them is down in the description below. But yeah, Q&A. So if you have questions about YouTube, if you have questions about anything that I might happen to know the answer to, go ahead and drop it in the chat right now, and we'll get this party started. So let's see here, sir. Any app for making intros for YouTube, and any suggestion which type I should make? So The Rock asks if there's any app for making intros. Absolutely, there is. My brother D. There's a link to him, I think, down in the description below. If not, just look for D Nimmin, D-E-E Nimmin on YouTube. In his video, he actually shows you the whole process of making some really cool intros. So definitely go check that out. Let's see here. Today, Cooking Tips is what are you going to talk about? I'm actually going to talk about a bunch of YouTube stuff because as questions come in, as people have YouTube questions, then basically I'm going to be answering those questions right here. So I'm getting some messages here. My audio is broken really bad, keeps cutting out every other second. Okay. So my mic is beeping. Okay. So yeah, sounds like maybe the connection just in the area, maybe the connection's bad. Maybe that's what it is. Like, I don't know if the video quality also is poor, but I just got a message from D saying that the audio is clipping pretty bad, just like pops and stuff like that. So we're just rolling, and we're just gonna see how it turns out that way. So Lewis asks, what makes a good video? Like editing, interaction. So Lewis, if you want to know what makes a good video, like to really know, right? Because I can sit here and tell you all day long what I personally think makes a good video. I can also tell you what other people might think makes a good video. But at the end of the day, what really makes a good video is up to your audience and the people actually watching the content. Like, for example, if you go into your audience retention reports inside of YouTube and you say, okay, this particular video, I'm going to go see how long people are watching this video. If people are watching it for a decent amount of time, then it's a good video. You're making good content. Maybe it doesn't look the best. Maybe it doesn't sound the best. But if people are watching, if they're engaged with maybe how you're delivering the content, then in that particular case, it's a good video. It doesn't have to be the best looking video on the internet. It doesn't have to be the best sounding video or a live stream on the internet, right? It just has to be something that the audience is going to enjoy. Now, with that out of the way, of course, if you have high quality video, absolutely, without question, it helps. If you have high quality audio, for sure, it helps. If you're entertaining and you have an engaging personality and you are presenting in your videos, yes, without question, that definitely helps to make for a good video. But the idea is basically to keep people watching. And that doesn't necessarily always depend on the highest quality content. You can have the best camera in the world. You can have the best microphones in the world. But if you can't deliver your message and you can't present that information to people, then you're pretty much, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you in terms of making really good videos. Intrepid Dawn, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here. Saying, Nick, regarding CTR, do we have data for gaming channels? My average for the month is 5.2, but I don't know how that compares. My best are around 9. That's about average of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing anywhere from I've seen like less than 1, but I've seen up to I think 16 is the highest that I've seen now. But that was just like on a newly published thing, so it won't stay that way. But like 5 to 9, that's about average of what I'm seeing, between like 5 and 10 right now anyway. Actually, between about 4 and 10 is the average of what I'm seeing. So that's fine. And at the end of the day, it comes down more to how much of that yellow bar at the top is YouTube promoting your content because that is kind of the indicator on if your thumbs are outperforming the other people because they're promoting your content a little bit more, right? So that's what you want to be looking for. As I scroll down here, so D saying that the video is okay, so that's good. So is the audio still sounding bad? Let's see here. D suggested making a cover of Mission Impossible. I did tell him, says Chad Garber. Oh, okay, nice. Manly Man TV, what is up? Nice to see you in here. Depth of Science, suggestion for Science Channel for more views, Depths of Science. So in your particular case, what I would do, if you're trying to get more views in the science space, I actually have a science channel too that I haven't uploaded to in a very long time. But definitely you want to try to rank that stuff for search because people are looking for that information. In addition to that, having awesome thumbnails is also really important. Happy birthday. Definitely not my birthday. But having awesome thumbnails is also definitely important. And if you can have different science topics that are trending, I would try to hop on those as well. Like, let's say that, some new technology just came out, something that's like saving people's lives or some new development and treatments or something like that comes out, then you can definitely hop on those sort of things as well. But in terms of just getting more views, I would definitely lean on your thumbnails and ranking your videos on for search for that one. This is so weird. This is the first time that I've used this built-in YouTube thing. And, it's not that bad. It looks a little bit weird on my end just because it's all blown up on my screen. But overall, I think it's okay. Let me know in the comments right now. Let me know what you think of how this is coming through. I know the audio is a little bit rough, but we're working with what we have with our tech issues today. It seems to be the day of tech, but that's okay because we're going anyway. Let's see here. Shadow Gamer, sometime in case they were talking to somebody else. Nick, how do you get people to search your channel more and more people sub? Okay, so Epic Gamer asking basically, how do you get people to search for your channel? It's not that they're searching for your channel per se until you build that fan base. It's more that you're making content that people are searching for. Right? It's not that you have them searching for your channel. You're making all of these videos that are on the other side of that search. When people are looking for particular search terms, then your video is what is actually shown to them as one of the results for those search terms when those search results come up. Now, in terms of getting people to sub, you got to make good content. At the end of the day, people are not going to subscribe to you if your content is not good. So you have to focus on really making sure that you're making good content, and you can know if you're making good content or not by looking in your audience retention reports, because at the end of the day, it's that data that gives you information based on your specific audience on what is working for you specifically. And then you need to adjust accordingly based on what your audience retention reports are telling you. JC Production says, what is the best budget camera for YouTube? Something like this is fine. It would get the job done. I mean, I don't know what type of camera you're looking for, but if you're looking for something where you can just sit in front of your computer and talk, this is a Logitech C922 webcam. It actually records at a higher quality than it does. It records at a higher quality than it does if you are streaming. But it definitely would get the job done. If you're looking for something else in terms of like a budget camera, I know like the Sony RX100 is good, but it doesn't have a mic input, so you're gonna have to get an external recorder, and then you're gonna have to record your audio and your video separately, which is going to complicate things. It's gonna make your edit a lot more difficult. So D's asking, what am I on or how am I on? So right now I am on through the built-in web app inside of YouTube. So I have no option for like camera switching, for pulling anything up on the screen, for showing my desktop, none of that stuff. Like this is just raw, just like I would be streaming on my phone, right? Except it's on the desktop instead. Let's see here. Jay Malone, also excited to meet you in a month. So here's the thing. I've got down in the description, I believe down in the description, I have links to Video Marketing World. What Jay is talking about is Video Marketing World that's coming up at the end of August. And with Video Marketing World, that conference that it's at the end of next month. If you are anywhere near Dallas, Texas, or if you can go to Dallas, Texas, I highly recommend, because I'm going to be speaking there. Brian G. Johnson's going to be speaking there. Sean Cannell, Daryl Eves, Tim Schmoyer, Owen Video, if I didn't mention him already. Just a ton. I think it's like 31 different speakers. Everybody's really knowledgeable in the space. So if you're a content creator, tons and tons of value there. And in addition to the actual value that you're going to get from hearing everybody talk, you're also going to get the side of like, hey, you get that FaceTime with people, which is really cool because me personally, when I go to these conferences, and I've only been to 2 now, but when I go to these conferences, I learn more standing around talking to people than I do when I'm actually like, sitting there, watching somebody up on stage. Don't get me wrong. I've learned some stuff from, the stage talks too, but you learn tons when you're just standing in a circle and people are just talking. you're just like, wow, I never even thought of that angle before. You know, it's pretty awesome. Let's see here. As I scroll down, Manly Man TV says that his issue with AdSense is also on the AdSense app. Any other device? Yeah, man. If you're getting that on multiple devices, I really don't know what to tell you outside of contacting their support. It's the only chance. It's your only hope. Let's see here. Am I married? No, but I do have a girlfriend. Let's see here. D might also be going to Video Marketing World, which would be awesome. We shall see. He's going to know here within like a day or two. We're looking at like plane tickets and seeing like if it's going to be a difficult flight and that kind of stuff. If so, then he probably won't go. But as long as we can find a relatively decent flight to take, then he'll be coming as well, which will be a big bonus for all of us. When's the best time to make YouTube full time? The best time to make YouTube full time is when it's actually providing income for you that would take you away or replace your current job. That's when you make YouTube full time. Because, you know, like a lot of people will say like, oh, well, I quit my job so that I can start a YouTube channel so that I can turn it into my full-time job. So unless you have tons of money in the bank that you can depend on, I would really not recommend doing that, because there's a humongous learning curve. A lot of this stuff takes a lot of time to just understand it even at the base level, in terms of like, hey, how do I get my camera to look decent? I mean, you know, we had trouble streaming today, right? And we do this stuff all the time. So like, if you're somebody, you know, that isn't experienced in something like that, then you would just be, you know, you'd be dead in the water, so to speak. Like, while we're working on that stuff, trying to get that figured out, you know, you might be just completely overwhelmed by it if you're just getting started. So just the process of how all this stuff works and how to get views watched on, or how to get videos watched on YouTube, how to turn those viewers into subscribers, how to actually generate income from your channel outside of ads, that kind of stuff. You know, it's a long process. So because of that, I wouldn't quit your day job. I would do the two side by side until you get YouTube to a place to where it can replace the income that you would get from your other job. In terms of, let's see here, Just Technology says, Nick, how do we get YouTube certified? YouTube certification is simply a test that you can make. So I'm YouTube certified. A lot of other creators in the space are certified, but you don't have to be. It's not like a requirement. Basically, all it means is that you went through a course, or that you know the information enough that you can pass a test. So to do that, if you just type in, you know, YouTube certification, then you'll find some information on it. Let's see here. Best way, the Toxic 3. Excellent question. I love this one. Toxic 3 is asking, and real quick, if you're enjoying the stream, even though it's a little bit different than we normally do, definitely remember to give this in my opinion, is to approach the other content creators with a plan. Like, as an example, Viper, right? Viper doesn't have 1,000 subscribers yet, but he's getting like all of these like big subscriber number people on his YouTube channel just by networking, being part of the community, and just kind of integrating himself with the culture and with the people in the culture, instead of looking at it like I'm here, they're there. He's just kind of being friends, right? And welcoming everybody into what he's doing. And because of that, people are also welcoming him in and collaborating with him on a regular basis every Friday, actually. So Tasty Penguin says you should do a subscriber channel evaluation stream. That's a fantastic idea, Tasty Penguin. But unfortunately, in this one, I can't do that. We do that every Saturday. But unfortunately, in this stream, we can't. Sergeant Shill, what is up, man? Nice to see you. Yeah, so D is not here. He's actually at the studio still, trying to get everything worked out, trying to get everything sorted over there, because we just can't. Our no encoders that we have are letting us roll. So I'm just having to go directly through. He's actually saying that I keep freezing. Can you tell me on your end, if you're watching this right now in the chat, do I keep freezing a lot or anything like that, or am I coming through okay? So I'm trying to figure out if it's us pushing the signal out, or if maybe it's him at the studio, to where maybe the internet there is being all weird anyway, and that's what's causing that. So let me know what you're seeing. Let's see here. Mystic Eyes, I just saw your thing. It just went away here. Let me scroll down and find it. Well, I saw it in here somewhere, Misty Eyes. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to try to find it. Happy times with Reggie. Says, besides TubeBuddy, how do I grow a new channel? So to grow a new channel, you have to make good content. You have to make good content that serves a purpose, that serves people in some way if you want faster results. And that basically is something that people will want to watch. because, it doesn't matter if you're making gaming videos, doesn't matter if you're doing inspirational content, if you're doing motivational content, if you're teaching people how to do stuff, if you're doing comedy skits, like whatever it is, you just have to do it in a way that people want to watch it. Right. And then if you can do that, then you're going to end up growing the channel. And of course, you got to work on getting views and things like that, which comes from making really good thumbnails so that people are clicking on your stuff a lot. It comes from learning how to craft good titles so that people will click on those. It also comes from having great content in terms of, when people come to your video and they start watching your video, that they want to keep watching the content. Like that's how you really grow. Because the longer that people watch, the more that people watch, the more likely they are to subscribe. Let's see here. Mystic Eye says, why is my subscribe watermark not showing? So your subscribe watermark isn't showing because you need to make sure that you upload it. When you upload it, they ask that you upload an 800 by 800 pixel image into that, and you load that into your Creator Studio. If I was showing this, if I was streaming through an encoder, I could actually go in right now and show you how to do it. But unfortunately, because of my stream limitations today, I can't do that. So Michelle Lawrence says, what is a good download speed and a good upload speed for live streaming? Fantastic. Today is the day to ask that question. I wouldn't recommend, well, you can stream with lower than 10 up, because like when you're live streaming, download speed is pretty much irrelevant because you're actually pushing that stream up to the internet. So what is more important than anything when you're live streaming is that actual upload speed, because that's what's taking what is happening in your studio or in your room, your office, whatever it is, and it's actually pushing that stream up to the internet so that, the YouTube CDNs can get it and distribute it out. So upload speed is what matters. If you can go with like 10, you'll get something decent. My upload speed isn't the best in any way, shape, or form. We usually get around 20 here, and we get around 20 in the studio as well, and that seems to do the trick. However, it's not enough for us to push through like a full 1080p stream. I have to take it down to 1920, or I'm sorry, I have to take it down to 1280 by 720 in order to get like a decent looking stream coming out. And I'm not even sure, I don't even know what this is actually coming out as. I don't know if this is coming out as a I don't know what size, because this is all coming directly through YouTube, just like it would on a phone. So I have no idea what you're seeing right here. Let's see here. Hey, Nick, I get more views than subscribers, but not many people subscribe. Any tips on increasing my subscribers? Mellow. Love the name Mellow. Yeah, same exact thing. In order for people to want to subscribe to your channel, you have to give them something in return, because people aren't going to subscribe just for the sake like, oh, hey, here's a YouTube channel, I'm just going to subscribe to it. You have to give them some type of value in return, right? If you're doing gaming videos, then you better be really good at gaming. If you're doing gaming videos, maybe you're not actually doing Let's Plays, but maybe you're sharing information on how to beat a particular game or how to do specific tasks of the game or something like that, to where you're actually exchanging a little bit of value with the people that are watching your videos. So you're sitting there showing information, they're getting value by seeing that information and saying, oh, okay, now I know how to do that. And then, that takes them that extra step, so to speak, to where it's like, okay, well, maybe I'll subscribe here because I find this channel helpful, or, it serves me in some way. Because all of us, when we are looking around YouTube, we're all in there, we're all looking for stuff that serves us, right? We're looking for content that we're interested in, right? When we go to a channel, we don't look at a channel and think like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to subscribe just for the sake of subscribing to this channel. No, we subscribe because it's like, hey, I want to collect a subscriber feed of all, or a subscribed feed of all of the different type of videos that I like to watch, all the different channels that I like to watch. So unless you're actually getting something from those channels that you watch, you're going to be, then your likelihood of subscribing to that channel is going to be extremely low. Let's see here. Nick, I followed your channel for quite some time, and I love the fact that you're straight to the topic. Question: how to succeed in a niche that is very stagnant and is not ready for change? Elisa, make the change, right? Make it. Like you have the people that are actually making the content right now, right? To where it's like, hey, it's really stagnant right now, and they could really use a lot of life, so to speak, being brought to the content that's being made in this particular niche. Be that person to do that. Now, if the audience for that niche isn't responding to how you're doing it, I would still do it a little bit longer, just to make sure that it's not the expectation of the niche, but I would do it for just a little bit longer. And then if you can't change people, then I would say, okay, well, I'm trying to do it my way and it's not working. So I need to maybe start implementing it a little bit the way the other people do, so that I can, so I can increase my chances of getting people involved with what it is that I'm doing. Because like if you can come in and you can go into a niche that is stagnant, that is just kind of, to where it's like, everybody's just kind of doing the same thing. If you can come in and do something a little bit different, then that's going to help you stand out from everybody else. So when the people that consume that type of content land on your stuff, they're going to go, oh, wow, what's going on here? Like, this is the same type of content, but they're doing it in a totally different way. Right. So because of that, I would definitely give it a shot. And I would try like whatever idea that you have. If you think, okay, well, this is how I want to present this type of content, or this is the experience that I want to give people, then go for it and do it for a while and see if it works. It's definitely worth 3 months of your time to put out a bunch of videos like that and see if you can get people to respond to it. And also welcome feedback, welcome feedback. Hey, this is, I'm, going with this style, I know it's a little bit different than what they normally do when we, in this type of video. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, encourage that engagement and that feedback from the people that are watching. That's one thing that I did. Like when I came into the YouTube help space, which wasn't even my intention originally, but when I came into the YouTube help space, same exact thing. Like most of the people that were sharing this type of content, they were in like an office environment or, something like that, or it was just kind of like a normal studio to where there wasn't anything to where it was like, wow, this is interesting looking. So the angle that I took, I started that way and it wasn't working at the time, but I started that same exact way. Like, okay, well, I'm going to try to make this look like everybody else. And then when I left this channel and I came back to it and I said, I'm going to try to do something completely different here and come, at a different approach by how I make everything look, by how I communicate in the videos and all that stuff. And it worked for me in this particular niche that I'm in as well. It actually changed the expectation in the niche a little bit, which is pretty cool. Will the conference be live streamed? The Bride to Bri asks. Yes, it will. They do have live stream tickets available as well. It's actually replays. I think they'll be live streaming some of it, and then they'll be replaying some of it as well. And you can also get those as well if you can't get in there. Let's see here. Let me scroll down here because the chat's been going for a while here while I've been answering these. Let's see here. We've got D saying, hey. We've got in the future, can you do gaming videos? Yeah, D and I were actually talking about doing gaming videos, Nerox, if I'm saying your name right. How do I create my own YouTube logo? I'm not artistic enough. If you're not artistic, Rosé Dota, just go to like fiverr.com. And there you can get like a logo made for like $5. So if you have $5, you can have somebody make it for you. If not, you can hop on Reddit. I can't remember off the top of my head the free Reddits that will offer design services for people for free, just as kind of like just get experience. I'm not sure what the subreddits are for those, the actual names, but somebody in the chat might be able to tell you. Justin Bennett loving the Stormtrooper in the background. That's what I'm talking about right there. Let's see here. Nick knows he has audio issues, but going anyway. Yep, that's how we are. That's how we're rolling today. Nick, I have a question. Are you from New York? No, I'm not from New York. You said you stream at whatever time and then Eastern time. So what city are you from? I'm just curious to know. I'm actually in Thailand. So I'm not in the States. So normally I stream at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's our normal stream time. But now we were going to go a little bit early today. Ironically, right? We were going to go early. D and I made the choice to where it was like, hey, let's go early and see if we can, just either go a little bit longer or to where we can, reach some people that don't normally get a chance to be on the stream. And if you were around a couple hours ago and seeing us trying to get the stream going, then you will see that we absolutely did not go early. So Ian Corzine says, hey, Nick, what is the best way to find a community for your channel? I have a law channel, and I'm having a hard time building community. Thanks, bro. So in your case, Ian, if you are having a hard time building a community around your channel and you're trying to find one, I would definitely hit Reddit. If you haven't yet, I would look for any of the law subreddits there. I would definitely hit Facebook, look at Facebook groups there. In your particular case, I would also try, if you can, if you have like blogs and websites in your niche to where they talk about industry news, I would try to connect with them as well and try to, get your videos onto those websites so that maybe you can pull some of their community into your community as well. And at the same time, give them content that they can use, maybe, be like a guest poster or something like that on their website. In addition to that, like if there are no Facebook groups around what it is that you're doing, you might be the person to create that Facebook group. And where you create that Facebook group, it's going to be a slow You know, it'll be a slow grow thing there, just like YouTube is, but you would create that Facebook group and you would start creating that community. And then you would have that Facebook group that you would have as an asset, and you would have your YouTube channel as an asset as well. And you would be building the community in both places. So that's what I would do. Like if you were going into something, or if I was going into something that didn't have a community around it, then I would try to actually create the different assets to where people, like in your situation, you know, like you're looking for those communities. And if you can't find them, then you might need to make them so that other people that are looking for them can find them and be a part of your community that way. Is the uploads playlist, Tom Gillard says, is the uploads playlist a must? It will look identical to my movie reviews playlist 95% of the time. Tom, what I would do is if your movie reviews playlist stays current, then I wouldn't worry about it. But the reason that you want that uploads playlist up there is to show people that you're still current. So when they come to your channel page, they see recent content instead of seeing content that's dated. Another thing is it also helps push views to that new content. So if you have a large library, and through that large library, you're having a lot of people go to your channel page, then seeing those new uploads at the top, that encourages people to go and check out those new uploads, right? Because, oh, hey, I didn't watch this one, didn't watch this one, didn't watch this one. I'm going to pop these open in 3 different windows, and I'm going to watch them, you know, right after each other. So if you can keep that movie reviews playlist current, then absolutely, it's totally cool. But the idea is basically just driving traffic and driving viewers to that new content. Let's see here. Yeah. So Ian, I hope that answered your question in terms of finding a community, because I know some niches can be hard. With law, I'm surprised that you're having trouble. You might also want to just look around at general forums. Like if you have not community, but if you have industry resources in general, like message boards and things like that, then you might also want to try looking there to see if you can try to work with them in some way, or at least, you know, integrate yourself there so that you become, you know, one of those lawyers that are like, oh, hey, not only is he a lawyer, but he's also got a YouTube channel. So you should check out his YouTube channel. That also gives you an opportunity to post links from time to time. Hey, I made a video about this. Go check it out. You know, and people ask questions and that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Nick, do you do shout outs from time to time? I do it in my community feed. Yes. What is the static image some YouTubers put on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen? The static image that people put on the very bottom right-hand corner of the screen, which would be right over here. This is it's a subscribe watermark. So basically it's a branding watermark that you add inside of your creator studio. We actually sell those at tubertools.com. Boom. We sell those at tubertools.com. It's like $2. You get a pack. But basically it's just like it's a graphic. It's an 800 by 800 pixel graphic. And you take that and then you load it into your creator studio from your desktop. And desktop, laptop, you know, I don't think you can do it from your phone unless you're using desktop mode. Still not 100% sure because you're loading up a graphic. But you basically take that and then you load it into that spot and then you're good to go. Let's see here. Is it good that I have too many moderators on my stream, says Epic Gamers. I also have too many moderators in my streams, Epic Gamers. So I'm right there with you, my man or woman, whatever you happen to be. Let's see here. Hey, Nick, I enjoy your channel a lot. Do you have any tips for me? I'm a man that does fragrance reviews on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow more subscribers and views. I have 2,400 subscribers. Yeah. So like in your case, if you are a fragrance channel, I'm actually going to I can't go to a channel from this chat. Oh my goodness. You got to be kidding me. Hold on real quick. I'm seeing if I can actually like get to your channel. Clicking the things here. Really? I can't go to your channel. Okay, so it looks like I can't even go to channels from this chat version. Man. Okay, so anyway, in terms of you know, if you're doing fragrance stuff, then I would just keep doing what you're doing in terms of, you know, if you're trying to grow your subscriber base and get more views. Of course, you know, any new fragrances that come out, you wanted to always hop on that. I'm sure you probably know that already, but you know, I would definitely be using Google Trends like crazy. I would be staying on top of the industry, so to speak, knowing which celebrities are coming out with what, which companies are coming out with what, so you can make sure to stay like on the front of that curve as that stuff is coming out. That's one thing that I would do if you're not doing that already. And in addition to that, you know, just trying to be that person that that people engage with in terms of, you know, like how you're presenting your content, how you're interacting with your audience. Let them know that, you know, hey, I want the engagement. You know, let me know your opinion on this fragrance in the comments. Let me know what you think about this fragrance. We have this other fragrance that's coming out. Are you looking forward to smelling this particular fragrance? You know, like whatever the language it is that you use for your industry, then I would lean on that to to try to get more views. But really trends for me would be the thing that I would really try to lean on. So I would try to target trends for that specific industry. And I would consume like all the publications, all that stuff. So you can be like literally on the cutting edge of that stuff. So as it's coming out, you're one of the first people to publish content on it. To verify your account on an Android tablet, Miss Cat, I would try using desktop mode. That can be a big help for people that are using mobile devices and they're trying to get some of this stuff to work, is use desktop mode in your Chrome browser. Okay, let me scroll down the chat here. We got D talking to people in the chat here. It's kind of weird knowing that D is in the chat right now instead of sitting right across from me. Feels awkward. D, come on over if you want. Got a chair, got a microphone. Just plug it right in. Let's see here. How do you get your video ideas? So me, I'll get my, and this is from Michaela Garcia. Pardon me if I'm saying that wrong. I get my video ideas from the comment section. I get my video ideas from a big, humongous list that I have on my phone, which is right here. Big, humongous list that I have on my phone to where, you know, when it's video time, then I'll go into my phone, look for the different ideas that I have there. In addition to that, you know, I also have some contractual stuff that I have to put out from time to time. So those, of course, always are ideas that I have. In addition to that, comment sections, I'm on Reddit looking around at the problems people are having. I'm in all the Facebook groups about YouTubers looking at the problems people are having. And I just make content around, you know, the problems that people have when it comes to making YouTube content. Let's see here. Hybrid Steel saying that he doubled our 7-hour live stream time. Nice, dude. Well done. Machine. Let's see here. So let me scroll down here quite a bit. Naum Crates gave me a thumbs up. Thank you very much for that. Anybody else in the chat right now, if you're enjoying the stream so far, make sure to give a thumbs up. What we're doing, if you're new to the stream, what we're doing right now is we are basically just doing a Q&A to where we are answering your YouTube questions. I am answering your YouTube questions and any other questions that you may have about, you know, whatever. But that's basically what's going on here in the stream. Normally we do this from the studio. Today I'm doing it from home just so that we can get it up, get it online, and hang out. Because that's the whole thing. I wouldn't know what my Saturday would be like if we didn't live stream. When we were at the studio and we were like having to make that call on like, okay, well, this is it, we're done. You know, we can't go live today. It was just kind of like a, man, like we were bummed out. Like both of us are like, oh man, you know, because we love going live so much. Let's see here. Leather Rock says, why did YouTube take our numbers away when we search titles to SEO? If you're talking about the, let me pull this up here real quick. If you're talking about the like how many search results and all that stuff, let me check right now. Let's just do this. Yeah. So if you're talking about the, you know, like how many results are there, I have no idea why they took that away. But one thing that you can use to get around that a little bit is something called Keywords Everywhere. It's actually a list. It's listed in my last video, but it's a free browser plugin. It gives you like a general idea of search results. Keep in mind, it's Google based, not YouTube based, but it gives you just a general idea of the interest for that term. However, it doesn't give you that information that you're looking for, which is like how many people have made a video on this, right? It definitely does not do that. Let's see here, starting to buffer on your end. When I started out, I didn't upload all my videos in HD. Would you recommend going back and re-uploading those videos in HD? No, I wouldn't worry about it now. Just I would focus on moving forward, right? Because like all this stuff is just, you know, it's all cruising along, you know, like at its pace. I personally, unless I'm going back and optimizing videos from time to time, in terms of the actual content, I don't look back too much. I just try to keep moving forward, right? Keep, you know, more content, and publish more. Instead of looking back and thinking that I you know, should have done videos differently, which is always the case, right? We all do that to an extent, but instead of spending that time there, thinking like maybe I should delete those and re-upload that or whatever. If I want to do that, like in your case, you know, do what you prefer. But one thing that I do, if I have a video that I'm like, you know what, that video should have done better, then I'll make another video that's pretty similar to that video, and then I'll put that out. But it'll be like a, you know, 6-month gap, 8-month gap before I do something like that. But if I'm like, you know what, I know this video could do better and that one just didn't perform, so I'm going to make another one that's pretty much just like it. I'll alter the information just a little bit so that, you know, there's something new in there, something fresh for people that are regulars on the channel. But I'll just put out, you know, something that's very similar for the sake of knowing that it is something that, you know, that should have performed better. Let's see here. All right, Ian, let's see here. Nick, what are some of the live streams that you watch? Interesting. So some of the live streams that I watch Brian G. Johnson. Brian G. Johnson is awesome. As long as I'm awake, if Tim Schmoyer goes live, I'll watch that. If Daryl Lees goes live, I'll watch that. Video influencers, I'll always watch them if they go live. Because of the type of content that I make, most of the stuff that I also watch is my friends in the industry, right? Because, you know, I know them. So like when I'm watching them, I'll be watching and I'll be thinking like, you know, like, oh yeah, I like how they said that, like how they did this thing, or like, oh wow, that's cool insight that they got from whatever test they ran, or like whatever. And like for me, I just like that side of things. Plus, like when I'm in the chat, I feel like, you know, like I'm talking to somebody that I know, which is also cool. But in addition to that, I also, there's a guy called Dapper Dop, which you'll see him in the stream from time to time. If he goes live and I happen to catch it, I'll watch him. Doug Hewson, who usually does a Niman Live pre-stream. Same thing with him, you know, like as long as we're not like actually eating, like if we're in the studio, then I'll watch his pre-stream. See here, who else? Yeah, Justin Brown, Primal Video, when they go live, if I can catch them, I do. Gosh, who else? Yeah, off the top of my head, that's about it. Now, one thing that I do listen to live a lot, or that I do watch live a lot, is I'll listen to music live, to where, like, you know how they have like the streaming stations here on YouTube, to where it's just pretty much like a live stream, but they're pumping music through it. I'll listen to those quite a bit. Let's see here. Oh, Dapper Dop is in the house, actually. That's funny. And we were talking about Viper. Absolutely, we were. Let's see here. Hey, Nick, I made a new banner to inform that I'm doing new videos every week. Tuesday is comedy music and Thursday comedy sketch. Is it okay to have two different contents? Absolutely it is, because and this is for Redrix. It's absolutely fine to have those two different contents or types of content, because it's still under the umbrella of comedy. So, you know, people that are like looking to laugh, you know, that are into comedy, then you're still serving them in a proper way. So yeah, you're okay there. Let's see here. The Toxic 3 says, I have a question. Which site should I use to contact with other YouTubers to ask for a collab? Fantastic question. I recommend that you use YouTube, and I recommend that you use Reddit, and I recommend that you use Facebook. And the reason for all of those is, one, on YouTube, you're talking to other content creators. Like right now, you're in a chat with a bunch of like 184 other YouTube content creators. So now would be a great time to start getting some conversations going, Toxic 3. In addition to that, on Reddit, like in YouTubers and stuff like that. And YouTubers also, I'm not sure if I think they just closed the collaboration thread recently. But they also have there to where, you know, if you want to collaborate with other content creators, you can. Facebook groups are also a fantastic way. One thing to think about if you're wanting to do collaborations, right? One thing that's really important to think about is, if you become a part of a community of some kind, like as an example, if you're on Facebook and you're in Tube Ritual, or you're in my group on Facebook, if you're in either of those, right, then you're going to be posting on a regular basis probably. And then while you're posting on a regular basis, you're going to start to recognize other people that post on a regular basis. And then when they're posting on, you know, when they see you, you see them, and you start interacting in the comments. Before you know it, you'll start talking to, you know, certain individuals in those chats. You'll start talking to them through instant message and things like that. Next thing you know, you'll be hanging out in their live streams. Next thing you know, from there, you know, you'll be doing videos together, and you'll be excited to go meet at events and that kind of stuff. So in terms of, you know, like getting really good collaborations, definitely just being a part of the community can be really, really valuable for that. Let's see here. Okay, MM2K says, Nick, I'm having issues with resizing images at an unlocked height within Streamlabs. Any ideas what to do, or any helpful resources that you're aware of? I'm pretty sure they have a help desk over there. If you send them a support ticket, they should get back to you. In addition to that, I would just make sure that if it's resizing images, that you would just go into properties, and then you would just basically put the right size in there to kind of work around that. Soren Garado says, Nick, how do you get sponsored by TubeBuddy? I got sponsored by TubeBuddy because one, I know them over there. I stream on the TubeBuddy channel on a regular basis. I am an affiliate for TubeBuddy. I send them a lot of affiliate traffic, and because of that and just the interaction that we've had over time, because I've known the TubeBuddy guys now for I don't know, probably 2 years now, maybe 2.5 years or longer. And because of the relationship that was built up there when we built the live studio, I reached out to them and said, hey, I'm going to start shopping around for sponsors, and I want to give you guys the first go. So if you are interested in sponsoring the stream, then let me know, and you'll have the first grabs at it, since we already have a relationship built up. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. Boom. So that's how I got sponsored by TubeBuddy. Let's see here. Let me keep on scrolling down. Yeah, I'm kind of freezing here, I guess. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. I'm just working with what I got here today. How do I create my logo? Okay, yeah, we've already done that one. It's weird. It's almost like it's like looping some of the chat, which is kind of weird. How to use Sony Vegas? That's a whole video series on its own. Let's see here. What's up, Vigard? Nice to see you in here, my man. Doug, nice to see you in here as well. Weird Heather, what is up? Let's see here. So Tom Gillard says that he did a collab recently with someone who was great, but now has stopped posting. Makes me feel like an idiot. Don't feel like an idiot, Tom. Like that's just the nature of this beast, so to speak, right? Because throughout your journey, like depending on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, if you're like, hey, I'm trying to turn my YouTube channel into like a real asset, I'm trying to build a business around it, or whatever that happens to be. Like if that's what you're trying to do, you're gonna have people along the way to where like you're doing your thing, and then like you'll be working with somebody else doing collaboration stuff like that. All of a sudden, they'll just like stop uploading because something happened in their life, or it's just not working out for them, or it's not in line with what it is that they're trying to accomplish. And because of that, you just have to make sure that you stay on your path. But I wouldn't feel like an idiot about it ever, because what you're doing is you're actually doing it, you're continuing, you are heading towards whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And because of that, like you're on the right path. They should be the ones, I mean, depending on what they're doing. I'm not calling them an idiot in any way, shape, or form. Oh, hey, Daryl Eves is in the house, dropping a big, hefty 100 spot there. What's up, man? Nice to see you here in the chat, Daryl Eves, y'all. So Daryl Eves, he's actually the person that kind of set my fire, so to speak, for YouTube. So big shout out to Daryl Eves there. Thank you for what it is that you do, man. I really appreciate you and appreciate what it is that you do. Thank you so much. And he also has a conference coming up here in October, Vid Summit, which there's also information for that down in the description as well. So definitely go down and check that out. I'm going to be speaking there as well as a bunch of other creators. So you definitely want to go check out that one as well if you're anywhere in the LA area. And here's the thing, when it comes to Vid Summit, I'm actually flying from Thailand to go over there, right? So I mean, it's a big deal to head over to Vid Summit. It's the most productive YouTube conference on the planet that I'm aware of. So definitely head over to Vid Summit. If you don't know anything about it, then click the link in the description down below and check it out. Yo Soy Ram Hernandez says, how can I look for sponsors? So to look for sponsors, it's simply you look at what it is that you are doing and you say, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is the audience that I have, or the audience that I'm intending to have. Who would be a good fit for me to continually promote to my audience? So if you're talking about how to look for sponsored video, you can just go to like FameBit or something like that for that. But if you're talking about like, hey, how do I develop a long-term relationship with a company that is going to give me some type of monetary compensation in exchange for exposing them to my audience on a regular basis? If you're looking for something like that, then what I would look for is I would look for companies that would be a perfect 100% fantastic fit for what it is that you're doing, and start sending emails. Start sending emails, start sending them tweets, start supporting what it is that they're doing. If they're on Instagram and they're posting pictures a lot, just go in there, start liking their pics, go in there, start leaving comments. Same thing about being, a part of the community that I was saying before. If you integrate yourself into this stuff, you integrate yourself into the different communities around the content you make, you integrate yourself into the different YouTube communities so that you can open yourself up for collabs and things like that. You start integrating yourself into the community of some of these brands that you're trying to work with. Like that's a great way to find your way in the door, so to speak. You can also, hit people up on LinkedIn, but just make sure if you start going that route, that you have like a nice proposal in place, that you have a media kit and all that stuff, because you're going to need it if you want them to take you seriously. Watch them from Kenya. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Charles Carice. I hope I'm saying that name right. Very cool. Ghost, I have 1,138 views, but only 41 subs. How do I gain more subs? So to gain, whoa, Daryl's just bringing the heat in here. Look at this. I'm like, whoo, I'm going to have to like fan myself. Look at all of this. Whoo, I'm going to have to like send you a refund. My pleasure for plugging Vid Summit, man. It's an awesome conference. Like here's another thing too. Right, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to see how much I can get Daryl to tip me here. No, I'm just kidding. But with Vid Summit, one thing, since he just posted that in there, one thing that was really cool about Vid Summit, just as a heads up for everybody in the chat, is when I went to Vid Summit last year, right? It was last October. When I went in last October, I had like 70 something thousand subscribers. Using, you know, what I know about YouTube and using some of the information that I got from Vid Summit has helped propel me from that 70,000 to now I'm like, by the time I actually hit Vid Summit this year, I'm going to be at like 270,000. No, maybe 250 something thousand, but still pretty close, right? So almost 200,000 in the course of that year, just from that. And really, I think part of that also, in addition to the information, I think a part of that is also just being around other creators. That was my first time being around other creators in that mindset and mass, in terms of just an entire building full of people that are trying to actually do something with YouTube, that are taking it seriously, that are doing all that they can to do it. And for me, like, that was a game changer more here than anything. So like, in terms of like how I think of the platform and how I think of, like, you know, what's going on in the platform, like it was huge for me in terms of how I view things around YouTube. Let's see here. DBZ collector is asking for money. Daryl, that's funny. Love it. Let's see here. Hey, Daryl Eves, love your channel too. Daryl Eves. Hey, Daryl taking over the chat here. It looks like that's what I like to see. Got like a Daryl raid. That's what this was. Hey, Daryl. Let's see here. Yeah, Daryl's actually, we did a collaboration together too when we were at VidCon. So you're going to be seeing a collaboration on both of our channels coming out here real soon. He's also going to be coming on a live stream, I think, soon as well. Luckily, because tonight's live stream was a disaster, luckily it wasn't planned for today. Dan, Creator Fundamentals in the house. What's up, man? Nice to see you in here. Let's see here. Let me keep on scrolling down the page. Feels like that 1K is gonna take forever, says Pegasus Angels gameplay. You know, it might, but here's the thing, like, you know, for that first 1,000, like, as you start getting closer to it and closer to it, it starts getting really exciting. But at the end of the day, you know, if you think of it in terms of, okay, it's taken me this many videos to get to 1,000. So like removing yourself from it to an extent, right? And saying, okay, well, it's taken me about this many videos to get to 1,000. So if I start putting out, so if I put out X amount more videos, and then I get a little bit of like velocity behind me for that, then by this time I should have that 1,000, or this time I should have 10,000, or whatever it is that you're trying to reach. That's definitely a more, for me personally, that's a way to look at it that won't drive you as crazy as like staring at those numbers and being like, oh my gosh, I need like 200 more before I hit that 1,000, right? And I see somebody here saying Brian G. Johnson in the house. Boom. Yes, Brian G. Johnson in the house as well. Also saying that Vid Summit was also a great event. And that was the first time that Brian and I got to meet each other in person as well, which is also very, very cool. Brian's going to be at this year's Vid Summit as well. Pretty much anybody that is taking YouTube seriously is going to be there this year. Let's see here. Self-publishing from Dale. What is up, man? Nice to see you here in the chat today. So Brian, man, I would give your, I would love to say something about Tube Ritual, but unfortunately, not the Facebook group at your book, but unfortunately it's at the studio. So I'm not sure if you know this or not, but the studio, we just cannot get any encoder to connect, even here. Like, I can't get any encoder to connect to YouTube from my place, and I can't get any encoder. Doesn't matter what software it is, I can't get it to connect at the studio either, which is kind of rough. But hey, we're still going, we're still rolling, and that's okay. Overcome, right? That's the motto. Overcome. AliX Fishing, I'm here too. Very cool, very cool. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. I want to make this my business, but the challenge for getting, okay, this is from Launchpad Astronomy. I want to make this my business, but the challenge for getting to Vid Summit is lack of money. I'm starting from nothing, but I'll grow. Okay, here's the thing, Launchpad Astronomy. If you want to make this your business, you want to make, like video marketing and YouTube and creating content your business, then if you can't make it this year, then at least get the replays. Because Vid Summit, in addition to having the actual real tickets, they also have the replays. And they're very low price, especially for the value that you get. But you're able to get the replays as well. So like if I can pull it up right now, I'll actually tell you where to go to get those. Hold on one second. Not sure if you can get these directly from the Vid Summit page yet. But if you can't afford to go to the event in person, let's see here. Let's reserve your tickets. Let's click on that and see what happens. Yeah, Peter McKinnon's going to be speaking there too, which is going to be pretty awesome. Okay, so the standalone, okay, here you go. So a virtual live stream pass for anybody that can't go in person is like $197. Super cheap for the value that you get. I'll actually put a link right here in the description right now for that. So if you are if you're interested in that, then definitely go over there and check that out for the live stream replays. No way. DBZ Collector says, just because. Thank you for that, DBZ Collector. And then Daryl dropping another one. Woo! You know what? I think I need to just start working for Daryl. I'm just gonna give it up and just start working for Daryl. It looks like right here. That's hilarious. Oh, good stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, I think Daryl's just like taking over the chat here with all these 100 bombs. It's hilarious. Yeah, I'm excited to hear Brian just said that he's excited to hear Peter speak. Yeah, I am too. I'm excited. I'm like everybody's going to be there. Yeah, so we've got like Peter McKinnon, Sean McBride, Sarah Dietschy's going to be there for, people that are into her. She's awesome. Kristen Hills, Daniel Markham, Jim Louderbeck, who's the CEO of VidCon. Yeah, all types of just awesome creators going to be there sharing really good information. Let's see here. Daryl Eves, you can super chat me a few of those. I'll be able to go to Vid Summit, says Launchpad Academy. Love it. Nick, can you please look at my channel and review it, please? Theme Gamer, I'm not looking at channels today because of the tech issue that we're having right now. I'm just streaming directly through YouTube. I'm not doing, I'm not looking at any channels or anything like that because I can't pull them up on the screen. Over here on the right, like if I click on this, like I can't even open individual user channels either, unfortunately, to even like look at it and give tips. I'd have to like go and search for it and all that stuff. So today we're just doing a Q&A. Let's see here. I want to make gaming videos as I enjoy gaming, but I'm not very good. Please, can you help? The best way that I can help you with that one, Scorpion, is to say to get better. Just, like if you're wanting to make gaming videos, make gaming videos and even talk about, hey, I'm not that good, right? And you might not, like people might just happen your personality there. They might be like, hey, this is, he might not be that great, but he's fun to play, or they might not be that great, but they're fun to watch play. Right. So you might be able to lean on that. But if you're not good, then one, try to get good. And two, if you're not good, then you could also just still make videos, but just try to lean on your personality, or because you may not be good right now, just don't expect anything like huge to come from it, and just make videos so that you can go through the process of learning how to make videos, learning how to interact with the community, learning how to convert viewers into subscribers and all that good stuff. Because there's definitely a learning curve with all this stuff. Let's see here. Self-publishing with Dale says Vid Summit last year was a game changer for him as well. He was barely over 1,000 subscribers, getting very little revenue. Now he's at over 5,000. He has sponsorship. He has sponsorships, and he drives decent revenue. So yes, there's another plug, or not another plug, but another testimonial for Vid Summit. What's up, Car Galaxy Studios? Nice to see you in here, man. El Jefe, nice to see you in here as well. We're getting started a little bit late today because of some tech problems that we had. BHRTV says, can you give me some advice for commentary? That's an interesting question. So by commentary, do you mean like where you're making videos and you're just like sitting there talking to the camera? Is that what you mean? If that is what you mean, then my advice for that would be to, one, when you're speaking, keep the edit in mind. Two, be very mindful of how you're using your voice. Because how you're using your voice can be the difference on people paying attention or not. It can also be the difference on if people are going to be interested and watch your video for an extended period of time or not. Because if you can't use your voice in a way that is, that's interesting, like if you're just on there and you're just monotone and you're just kind of, doing that whole thing and just kind of, kind of going like that, and then it might be a little bit more dull for people, right? Some people tap into that. Some people are great. Some, there's some big channels that do similar stuff to that, to where it is a little bit boring to listen to, but they have the right audience for that, and it definitely works for them. But in terms of the advice, I would definitely just be very mindful of how you're using your voice. I would try to change the speed at which you talk. From time to time, I'd try to change it to where you're going a little bit faster sometimes. Then I would also try to change it to where you're going just a little bit slower sometimes as well. You can also, fluctuate the volume of your voice and all that good stuff. And again, keep the edit in mind. So like, you might want to end to where like you're sitting there talking and then you end on like a high and then you bring it back in on a low when you start your next clip and things like that. That can also be helpful. In addition to that, another thing that I recommend to people is when you're on camera, when you're live streaming or when you're making video content or whatever, by default, the camera kind of takes away a little bit of the energy that people feel on the other end of it, or that people can hear on the other end of it. So one thing that I also recommend is just to amplify yourself up just a tad, not a ton. You don't have to be ridiculous or over the top, but just kind of, give it some oomph, you know what I mean? A little bit, so that you can, make it all just kind of sound a little bit more intense, so to speak. Let's see here. What's the best way to monetize your channel other than AdSense? Says user abandoned channel. So the best way to monetize your channel other than AdSense, it depends on what it is that you have, like the content that you have. For me personally, the best way that I monetize my channel outside of AdSense was actually stuff that I never even expected. Like, now I'm making like content for other people, which is going well. I'm sending like a lot of affiliate traffic to places. I have my website, tubertools.com, that does well for me because it's like a membership site and a front end store for content creators where you can get like video graphics and stuff like that. That's been awesome. So I mean, and you sponsorships, of course. So I mean, it all depends on what it is that you are personally doing on your channel in terms of the best way to monetize your channel. Because there's a bunch of different ways to monetize your channel, but thinking of what is best for you and for your audience, like that's what you really have to decide. And in terms of answering that, like if you're going to start promoting stuff or working with other companies and things like that, like think of your audience first, because like as your channel grows, you're going to get deals, you're going to get people that are like wanting to work with you and wanting to do stuff. You're going to start getting a lot of emails with companies wanting you to promote stuff and all that. But you got to think of your audience. You got to think, okay, is this a good fit for the people that are watching my videos? Am I like selling out because I just want to make a few bucks on this? Or am I doing something to where I can actually provide value of some kind to my audience and then still get money on the back end of it, instead of being like, you know what, I don't really want to make this, but I'm just making this video just because they're going to give me some money and it's not really right for my audience. You know what I mean? Like if you're walking down that road, then I would kind of evaluate what you're doing. But if you are, if you're like wanting to make the best long-term experience for yourself and for others, then find something that's a really good fit for you, something that you would be happy to promote, something that you stand behind, and something that's a really good fit for your audience. Let's see here. Any free editing softwares that a small laptop can handle? I'm not sure for K-Bugs. I'm not sure what your laptop is, but I would try using for free software. I would try like DaVinci Resolve. I don't know how power hungry it is, but it's worth a shot. I would try DaVinci Resolve and HitFilm Express and see if either one of those does the trick for you. Let's see here. So in addition to tech, my computer just tried to restart, by the way, which is hilarious. Vlog my experience setting up a gaming channel. See, here's the thing. If I did a gaming channel, I wouldn't be a good gaming channel, because if I was a gaming channel, like I enjoy playing games, but I'm not so into games to where I would make an engaging gaming channel. You know what I mean? It would just be like, okay, well, I'm playing this game, but I'm not one of those people that when I play games, I'm all like, oh my God, this is insane. I can't believe I didn't, whatever. I'm just not one of those people. I just play it and then I'm like in my own head. So I wouldn't be a very fun gaming channel to watch for sure. Let's see here. Daniel Battelle in the house. What is up, man? Nice to see you in here as well. Let me scroll down the page here a little bit because it looks like I am cruising up here. Hey, we've got Viper in the house. What is up, man? So I saw that D was on your on the very back end of your stream today. I was actually just talking about you here in this stream just a little bit ago. So Viper, for the person that was asking about collabs earlier, so Viper, you see him here in the chat, VYYPER. If you go to his channel, you'll see what he's doing in terms of, reaching out to other content creators. And he's in one of those situations to where, like a lot of people would say like, oh, I've got, like my subscriber count isn't humongous, so I'm not going to try to reach out to these big creators, right? But he reaches out and he gets tons of large creators on his channel because he's taking that initiative and he's like, hey, I'm reaching out. And now because of it, he's becoming like known as that person that's getting all these creators together for these like awesome conversations, and they'll stream for like 8 hours straight, talking and hanging out with other content creators. So if you're not subscribed to Viper, definitely hit his channel name right now and head over to his channel so you can subscribe and you can be a part of some of those conversations and you can see the replay of some of the conversations that have been there as well. Piper Fryer, I'm not married, but I do have a girlfriend. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll down the chat right here. See what we got. Affiliate links are a good way to monetize if you get good traffic. Absolutely, Armored Gaming, it is. Let's see here. Yeah, the stream and Magic Music is asking if the stream is lagging for some people and if the voice is a bit laggy too. Absolutely, it is. We're having like all kinds of tech problems here. Like at the live studio, we actually just had to like leave. We're like, okay, we're gonna have to dig into this because it's like a serious problem. So we're having to like contact our internet provider and all that stuff. So that's why I'm actually streaming from here today. But yeah, so even here, we're having a little bit of problems. So I'm not really sure if it's something like with the internet. We're actually having like a big holiday here. So I don't know if it's just because there's a lot of people online. I mean, I don't know how that side of things works. So I'm not 100% sure. Let's see here. Yeah, the only way that I could get online today, or the only way I could make this stream happen today was by going through the built-in interface here. Let's see here. Is it okay if I do a live stream using DU screen recorders? It provides 1444p resolution comparing to YouTube gaming at 720p. Yeah. If that's what you want to use to push up, it's perfectly fine. Let's see here. Vigard, giving people the restrictions there on the 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers. Okay, Panda Man, great question. Love your channel avatar, by the way. Panda Man says, hey, Nick, I'm having trouble doing YouTube. How do I get back into doing it? So if you're having trouble doing YouTube and you want to get back into doing YouTube, then just like any other priority that you have in your life, you have to make it a priority. Like if it's something that you want to do, you have to say, okay, well, this is something that I want to do. So I only have so much time in my day. So I have to look for places in my day to where I can work doing YouTube to my day so that I can keep doing YouTube. Now, if it's a motivational thing in terms of like, I want to do it, but I just can't get myself to actually do it, then in that case, you really need to evaluate your goals. You need to look at like why you're doing YouTube in the first place. Like, like what is it that's driving you to even want to do YouTube in the first place? Like if you can identify that, then that by itself is going to be all that you need. So in that case, like if you identify that and you're like, yeah, this is why I want to do it. So because I've identified this, because I want to accomplish this particular thing, or I want to share this particular information, or I want to help people in this particular way, whatever it happens to be, like when you identify that, then what you're going to do is you're going to give yourself a cause, right? You're going to give yourself that motivation. You're going to be motivated by that cause. So knowing why that you're wanting to make videos in the first place, and knowing why you're even wanting to get back into YouTube, and identifying that and leaning on that as your motivation can really be helpful. And then once you have that, and even before you have that, while you're trying to figure that out, if you just start and you say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to make a video today and I'm going to put it online. It might not be that great. People might not respond to it, or they might, but I'm just going to kind of give it my all for this one particular video. And I'm just going to put up this one video while I'm working out, why it is that I want to do YouTube in the first place. And then when your next update comes and it's time in that your publishing schedule when it comes to that time for your next upload. Same exact thing. You know what? Still haven't identified why I'm doing this, but I'm just going to start. I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to make a video. It might not be my best stuff, but I'm just going to make this video so that I can put it up there so that I can keep heading in that direction. Because what's going to happen is the more steps that you take, the more videos that you upload while you're trying to figure out why you're doing it in the first place, that's going to help you continue the habit of putting content online. Whereas you're like, I'm just going to take a break and stop doing it while I'm trying to figure this out, then there's also a really good chance there that while you're taking that break that you just might be like, you know what, it's not built into my habits anymore, to where it's going to become a bigger problem to actually get in front of the camera or whatever type of content that you make and start making YouTube content again. Now, keep in mind, if you're having trouble doing YouTube, that it might also be an indicator to where it's like, hey, if I'm having trouble making videos, to where it's something in my mind, like, I just don't like doing this or whatever, you don't have to make videos. Like it might not be something that you are, really, truly interested in. It might be something that you're doing just because you feel like you should or something like that. So, part of identifying why you're making content in the first place will also help you sort out that kind of information as well. That was a little long-winded. Gonna get my gills in line there. Technological Junkie says, hey, Nick, what is going on with this huge collaboration that you're doing? Do you have a date when it's coming out? And do you know who has been chosen? Yes, it should be out either this coming week or the following week. It's getting really close to being complete. Let's see here. Nick, how to make thumbnail for videos. Don't say Photoshop. I'm tired of it and making every thumbnail using it with great difficulty. KVS Gamer. So if you're having trouble with Photoshop, that means that you just need to watch more tutorials and learn how to use it better. Because Photoshop is like the tool to make really good thumbnails for YouTube. So I'm still going to say Photoshop, even though it's not what you want me to say. If you want an alternative, then you can go with like Canva or something like that, but you're just not going to get the creative abilities that you're going to have inside of Photoshop. What coding languages do I actually know? I know HTML. I know CSS, but that's it. I don't know any actual coding languages outside of HTML. Currency Crypto, 20 spots saying thank you for your awesome information. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you're finding value here in some capacity, whatever that happens to be. Thank you very much. Neil from Crypto Cruising says, I'm no Daryl Eves, but so close to 100 subs. Thanks to Nick and D and everyone in the community. You all know who you are. Thanks, guys. You're super dudes and Heather. Awesome, man. Thank you. Glad to hear that you are approaching that 100 subscriber milestone. And thank you for the 10 spot there as well. I appreciate it. And that's another thing too, right? Like Neil right here, right? Like his name says Crypto Cruising, right? But I know he's Neil because he's also part of the community. You'll see him in Facebook, you'll see him in the Discord, all of that stuff. And what I was saying before about, integrating yourself into the community, like that's what I mean, right? In terms of like because of him or because, he's in the community, like I know who he is, right? To where like, some people will just, post stuff or they'll say stuff in the chat and I won't know them yet because they just haven't been in the community long enough. And then there's other people in the chat to where it's like, like Brioni, for example, where she's telling me that my audio is breaking up a bit. Like I know, I know her. If she hit me up on Facebook, then, I'd reply to her and I'd have a conversation with her. We actually have had conversations on Facebook, as a matter of fact. But, like integrating yourself into the communities, the different communities that you like to hang out with around YouTube and around your channel can be really cool. Lead the team. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Saying thanks. Keep being awesome. Got to run today. Luxury Card Store says, what's the best way to advertise on subreddits without being flamed? Fantastic question. So here's what I would recommend. If you are going to use Reddit as your source of traffic or one of your sources of traffic, then whatever accounts, multiple accounts that you use, what I would do is I would post on a regular basis things that are related to the type of content that you make, but not necessarily your content. So every day, I would find something to post in one of the different subreddits that you're going to post your content into that is not yours, so that you can, be posting on a regular basis. You're always contributing to the platform. You're always contributing to the different subreddits. You're active in those subreddits because you're in there talking with people in the comments and things like that, so that when you go and you post something of yours, it's going to be welcomed, and you're not going to have a dirty post history of only posting your stuff. And then with that, basically, again, it comes down to community integration, to where you're making yourself a part of that community. You're contributing to that community with the different posts from all of the different, the other YouTube channels or the other blogs or other outlets for the type of content that you create. You're posting their content as well as yours. And by doing that, yours just kind of blends in, instead of it looking like you're there spamming your stuff all of the time. Oh, he says he meant 1,000 subs. Okay, yeah, my bad on that one. Yeah, so he said it was 1,000 subs. He meant to say he's approaching 1,000 subs instead of the 100 subs. Yeah, so well done, man. That's a big milestone. Like a lot of people never make it to 1,000 subscribers. So it's awesome to see that you are getting ready to cross that milestone. And yeah, Brownie, I know the microphone is breaking up a bit, and I know the images too. I'm just kind of working with what I got today. We're having all kinds of tech problems in the studio. Have some tech problems here as well with the encoders connecting to YouTube. So I think it might be something with the provider, because we use the same internet here that we use at the studio. So I'm thinking it might be something with the provider, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But that's why we're getting some weird audio, some weird video. There's definitely a lag just in the like my internet is slow. Like we're having all kinds of problems right now. But it's okay. We're going anyway, right? We're still doing it. Let's see here. Tech channel tips, including upload schedule and review units and other things. Thanks, Doug, for that post there. The show must go on. Absolutely, Car Galaxy Studios. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Luxury Car Store, I think they recommend only 1 out of 10. Yeah. Part of Reddit's rules is 1 out of 10. So like, like for every 10 posts that you make promoting something else, then you can promote one of yours. Or for every 9 posts that you make, then it's fair to promote one of yours. So that's where like having multiple accounts and all that stuff comes in, is you've got like all these different personalities on Reddit that are all posting all this content, as long as you have time to do this, that are all posting all this content that's relevant to your niche. And then you have a new video that pops up, one of them's posting there, you have another video of yours that comes up, they're sharing that on a regular basis. So you have these different accounts that are all integrated into the communities there on Reddit. Brownie, any tips for helping music vlogs rank better? Not sure how to title them. Brownie, I think your big win is going to come more from thumbnails than it is necessarily from just ranking. Of course, hopping on trends and trying to pull that suggested traffic in would be great for what it is that you do. But because you make a lot of unique music, or not unique, I guess the word for it would be original. Since you make a lot of original music, or mostly original music, I think that in your case, just having like really good thumbnails and building playlists around what it is that you're doing is also a really good idea. And me personally, if I was making music like you are, me personally, I would get a second laptop or a second computer, like an old one. And I would say, okay, I'm going to set this up. I'm going to have like a 24-hour streaming station on my YouTube channel. That's what I would do. Just because so you would have that just constantly available for people, because some of those, like if people are digging the music, some of those music live streams can do really, really well. Eldro says, what kind of curtains do I have in the background? No idea what kind of curtains these are. But they are curtains. They're blackout curtains, but I have no idea what they actually are. But if you look back here, like the curtains go like all the way like around here. So I can like open this whole thing up right here, and then I get to see like mountains back there, which is pretty cool. Let's see here. So Daniel, just subscribe to your channel there. Neil. Yes, Studio Blocks. We have a Discord in the link of this video. Oh, no, you know what? Actually, this isn't pulling in the live stream description. So Doug, or somebody that's in the Discord, one of the mods, if you could post a link to the Discord. Oh, he's already on it. Look at that. Bam. Got it already. Okay. Let's see here. The Technological Junkie says, Nick, I just wanted to thank you and D so much for all the help that you've given me. You just helped me reach 100 subs. Congratulations. High five, fist bump to you. And I couldn't have gotten there without you. Thank you so much. Very cool to hear. Thank you. And congratulations on crossing that milestone. That's kind of like that first one, right? 100. It's kind of that first one to where it's like, you know, like, oh man, I wonder if I can get 100 people to subscribe to my channel, right? And then you start, you know, you start making videos and they start going out all the time. And then you start, it's like, wow, I got like 50 people. This is great. And then you cross that 100 and it's like, oh my gosh, I got like 100 people. You know what I mean? It's awesome. That first 100 is just, it's great. Shannon Vlogs. Hey, Nick, I'm very nervous about publishing my next video. It's a story time video, but it's very personal. How do I overcome this? Hit the publish button. That's how you overcome it. So like if you're nervous about it, then that anticipation on if you should do it or not, just hit the publish button, get it out there. Because you know, like if you're comfortable enough about the idea of people knowing the information, even though it's personal, if you're comfortable enough about that to make the video in the first place, to where you're wanting to share that personal side of you with other people, then yeah, just hit the publish button. And also keep in mind, like, even though it's personal, you can always take it down, right? You can always remove it if you just, for whatever reason, you just don't want it there anymore. If you revisit it in 6 months and you're like, you know what, I this is not sharing the right message that I want from my channel, so you can just delete it if you want to in the future. In addition to that, if somebody comes in and they're taking personal stabs at you because of the personal information that you're sharing in the video, you can always delete the comment. You can always hide them from your channel to where it's not even going to be a big deal. You'll have to see the comment, but if there's also, keep this in mind too, if there's something in your video or specific things in your video that you think that people might come at you for, in terms of like, you know, like, let's say that you're sharing something on like, I don't know, no idea. Like let's just say like weight loss or something, right? Let's say that you're sharing something on weight loss, and then you're like afraid people are going to go in there and they're going to say like bad things about, you know, using that language in terms of like, maybe they would say something about like fat or, you know, something like that. Then as a preemptive strike, so to speak, you could go into your blocked words list inside of your community settings in your creator studio. And you can add a bunch of those words that people might come at you with there, so that they'll get held for review and they won't even be public in your comments as long as YouTube catches them. So you could also do that as a preemptive strike as well. But yeah, hit that button, right? Like if you wanted to share that information enough to actually make the video about it, publish. Let's see here. Do I have Discord? Yep, we got that one. Politics, please help. Can I use hashtags in the tags column? Technically, yes. I wouldn't overdo it, but yeah. Is there a tool that can help you reply to comments, like every single comment? Yes. You can use YouTube. That'll do it. You can also use the Creator Studio app in your phone. And with the Creator Studio app in your phone, turn it this way so you can see that Illuminati thing on there. But with the Creator Studio app in your phone, like what you can do there is you can go in and you'll see like all of the comments that people are leaving on all of your videos. It's not just limited to one video. And then you can go in and answer them that way. You can also do the same thing inside of YouTube as well. TubeBuddy also has an option to read comments that are that have not been read. So you can also go that route as well in terms of just sorting by comments that you haven't replied to. This is interesting. Like, it looks like I'm getting like real comments on this video. Like it's live, but not live. Not sure. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. That was on the other account. Huh. Did this one? So I was doing a live stream test, and I think that it's possible that it might have actually went live. Huh. The irony. All right. So let's focus, Nick. Let's get back on track here. Okay. The guard says, Weird Heather, that he's found that the more personal I get, that more engagement that he gets. Yeah, keep in mind, all this stuff is like personality driven, right? So, you know, like all of us are looking around YouTube and we're looking around, you know, watching all these videos, and we're connecting with people that we like for whatever reason. We're connecting with people that we feel that we have a connection to for whatever reason. And, you know, sometimes when you do let that guard down and you do share personal stuff, you know, sometimes people can really get into it. I know I was watching a documentary. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I was watching a documentary. Real quick, if you're enjoying the stream so far, even though I'm just sitting here blabbering, if you're enjoying the stream so far, make sure that you give this a thumbs up. And if you're new here, give me a hashtag new in the comments right now, just so that I can see you in there, so I can just say hey. Because that whole thing that I was talking about before in terms of like, you know, just integrating yourself into the community, just so that I can see, you know, people that are new. Okay. Lip synced in Jedi saying that you sent an email for Star Wars related collab. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check that email. So we've got new. We've got Gary Talks coming in with a new. We've got Ron's Trains and Things. What's up, Ron, with an old. We've got Makron Gaming with a new. Mika Irving with a new. Welcome to the stream. So normally what we do here during this live stream for everybody that's coming in new, Penguin Speaks, Tom Gillard, Tom Gillard, yeah, 4 months new. Jess and her guys. Let's see here. The Super Wrench Garage, their third live stream. For everybody that's new to the live stream, I just want to let you know, typically what we do here is we give YouTube tips, just like we're doing right now, where I answer YouTube questions. But typically we also pull channels up on the screen and we give tips to things that people can do better and things like that. Unfortunately, because everything is down in the studio, we can't get the encoders to connect to YouTube. So because of that, we're not doing that today. But I definitely encourage you to check in next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern for that, just as a heads up. But don't go anywhere. Definitely make sure you keep hanging out in the stream as well. But one other thing that I want to tell you if you're new here is that the community that is here, that is in this live chat right now, the people that are, engaging with each other, the people that are talking to each other in the live stream, like just an awesome group of people here. Like a lot of collaborations have been made. A handful of actual like real life, like meet face-to-face friendships have been made from people that have met in the live stream. So, so get to know people. Hang out, have conversations, get to know people. You are welcome here. It doesn't matter what size your channel is. You are welcome here to talk to anybody of any size channel. So, so don't look at that. If you see somebody's channel and you're like, oh, wow, they have a much bigger channel than me. It doesn't matter if you have 1 subscriber or 500,000 subscribers. Daryl, if you're still here, you're definitely welcome to, the stream and definitely welcome to talk with other people that are hanging out in the community. You are welcome here. Airbrushing with Stuart Smith Designs LLC. Thank you. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Armor Gaming says, I get more views watch time streaming than publishing videos. What should I do? If you're getting more views streaming, then keep streaming, but keep in mind your long-term plan. So what I mean by that, Armored Gaming, is with all this stuff, it's important to kind of have like a goal in mind, like something that you're trying to accomplish. Like either like, hey, I'm trying to get to this particular thing to where I can make this into something to where I can turn it into a business of some kind, or to where it's like, hey, I'm trying to at least get this many subscribers or this many views, or I'm trying to get my channel to a place to where, sponsors will want to work with me, or to where at the very least, since you're doing gaming content, to where at the very least, your content's good enough and you have a following that's big enough to where you can get like companies to send you games to where, they can kind of support your hobby of playing games by giving you all the stuff so you don't have to go out and buy it. Like depending on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, keep that in mind when you're making decisions like this in terms of should I upload videos or live streams or whatever. If you're getting more views right now from your live streams, definitely do more live streams, but keep in mind, typically live streams will die off faster on YouTube than videos will. So if you're uploading actual video content, then, you can help rank that stuff in search a little bit better and things like that, where live streams are awesome for ranking and search for topics like while you are live. But as soon as that video goes live, it starts dying a relatively slow death that ends up, accelerating the dying of that live stream once it's complete. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. Fresh Ward says, hey, Nick, to get monetized, should I need 4,000 watch minutes and 1,000 subscribers? And who is older, Nick or D? D is older. Not by much, but he's older. And yes, you need to have 4,000 hours of watch time, and you need 1,000 subscribers. If it was 4,000 minutes of watch time, yeah, it'd be super easy. Let's see here. Tom Gillard says, what you guys said about my thumbnails last week made my week, still coming down from that high. That's awesome. So Tom, when we were looking at his channel last week, we were talking about how cool his thumbnails look. And he's just saying that was awesome. Yeah, we thought it was cool too. You definitely had a really unique thumbnail style, which is pretty awesome. All right. Yeah, we need a crypto cruising. Neil, we need a in the Discord, we need somebody to have a meme on something with like D and age. Just being older, right? I don't know how you could meme that up, but that'd be funny. Also, airbrushing with Stewardism Designs is also new to the live stream here. Nice. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, everybody that is in the live stream right now that is new, welcome to the live stream. I hope you are enjoying yourself here. And let's get some more YouTube questions coming in so that, for the people that are new in the live stream, so they can get some, some stuff that maybe they have not heard before in terms of, some tips that might help them with their channel. Because the real juice usually comes when, from Q&A in terms of like answering questions. Because, like if one person has a problem that they're trying to deal with or something they're trying to overcome, in a lot of cases, it's a pretty common problem. Let's see here. De-aged. Benny Gack says, Nick, I get the same number of views on most videos and grow so slow. In that case, Benny Gack, man, then you need to look at your... See, I keep trying to look at channels and I can't. Benny Gack, in that case, you need to look at your thumbnails. You need to look at what it is that you're doing on your thumbnails. You need to look at your audience retention reports. You need to look at your titles because basically if you're putting out videos, you're getting the same amount of views to where nothing's like really increasing in any way, shape, or form. That means that one, your thumbnails just aren't getting clicked on as much as everybody else's thumbs are getting clicked on, that you're competing directly against with each specific video. It also means that once they do click on that thumbnail, that when they come to your video, that your video isn't being watched for as long as the other people that are showing up next to your videos, wherever it is that they happen to be on the platform as well. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to watch time per impression, which basically means that, for every time YouTube shows your thumbnail to somebody, your thumbnail and your title, if they click on it or not, and then if they do, then how much time are they actually spending on your video? So every time your thumbnail and title shows, how much watch time are you generating on average from them showing your content to other people on the platform? So that's where you need to start. Thumbnails, titles, audience retention reports. Let's see here. Ganji's Family Adventures. What's up, man? Nice to see you in here. What's up? Let's see here. Your Real Estate Whisperer says, what course would you suggest to do first to become YouTube certified? So if you are trying to become YouTube certified, your Real Estate Whisperer, here's what I recommend. I recommend first going through just the General Creator Academy. Go through all of, like, as content creators, every single person in this chat right now needs to go through every single one of the courses that YouTube offers inside of the Creator Academy. That should be on your to-do list. Like, okay, every day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go through a part of the course. I'm going to spend 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes going through a different part of the Creator Academy. If it takes you 5 days to get through one course, that's fine. Just make progress through it so that you can educate yourself on the platform that you're trying to perform better on, right? So at the very start, the first course that you should go to would be all of them. But in addition to that, when you actually go to apply to be YouTube certified, they actually have course material like there. So you can go through the process of becoming YouTube certified by just taking the course material. I think it's like 2 hours for the actual material itself. I accidentally took the course before I read the material because I just clicked the wrong button, and I was excited that it even let me in the first place. So I just clicked the assessment, and then when I clicked on the assessment, then I clicked on the agreement thing or whatever. And then it just like put the timer up, and I just had to take the course like on the fly. Still passed it, but I had to take the course just on the fly. But after that, I noticed that underneath they had the course material. So of course I still went through that course material as well to make sure on the things that I did get wrong, that I knew that I got wrong, that I, went and educated myself on those in addition to everything else that was in the course. But they have a course just for that. It's like a 2-hour-long course to where you can go and you can educate yourself enough to go and pass that particular test. But it's deeper than that. Like just having that badge is good. It means that you can pass that test. But you also want to make sure that you go through consume every piece of training material that you possibly can on how to do this stuff, because the more information that you have up here, the more that you're going to be able to identify. So when you're looking at your stuff, and you're looking at other people's stuff, you can say like, oh, okay, well, clearly they're just not doing this and they're not doing this. And, if they did this, then, then things would work out better because of this. And, like these videos, I know that these videos are performing well because of this. And I know that these are not because of this. And, I mean, like it gives you all of that ammo, so to speak, in terms of evaluation when you're actually looking at your own stuff to where you can see where the problems are, instead of just trying to like wing it and like hoping that that things work. It actually gives you information and knowledge on like what you should test, how you should be doing things, what they expect from you, which is pretty huge in terms of like how YouTube wants you to use the platform, as far in terms of the Creator Academy, and all that. So I would just consume everything that you possibly can. And the faster you can do that, the better off you are. Like you're in real estate, right? You're a real estate whisperer. So you're in real estate. So in order to be in real estate, in order to get your license, you had to take your exams for that, right? Same exact thing applies. Like if you think of it backwards and you think of it like, okay, well, what would I do if I had to actually pass a test and get certified, or just pass a test in order to actually start a YouTube channel in the first place, right? Which they should probably do. But like in that case, think of it that way. Like if I had to do the test first and know all the information first before I even started a YouTube channel, then how would I approach it? Right. And then approach it that way to where you're like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to consume all this stuff so that I can make sure that I can, do it. Let's see here. Grabster, what's up, man? Nice to see you here. Weird Heather, nice to see you as well. Yeah, Car Galaxy Studios. Yeah, Windows 10 definitely did not help us with the stream tonight. That is for sure. Your Real Estate Whisperer says, thank you so much, Nick, for your answer. I'm using this to help other realtors to use this platform. Most are not using it, and if they are not doing it right. Yeah. In that case, if you are going to put yourself in the position of somebody that people are coming to for this type of information, then absolutely yes. Go through all of their material. And seriously, this is going to sound crazy, but seriously, like go through it and then go through it again. Like go through it all, pass the test, whatever, and then go through it again. And the funny thing is because like as you're going through it, you're gonna see information. You're gonna be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I know that already. Okay, oh, that's something new. And then you're gonna keep going through all the different pages and all the different stuff. And then after you pass the test, after you get the certifications, because there's 3, after you get the certifications, then you're gonna then it's a really good idea to keep going through the material from time to time. 1, for any changes. 2, just to make sure that you're up to par, because it's really easy, especially if you're somebody that's just working on like your own channel. Like it's really easy to get kind of biased into what's working for yours and kind of removing yourself from like all of the information, just being like, okay, well, this is what's working on mine. So, this is kind of the rule. But by keeping going through or by continually refreshing your brain with that information, it also gives you insight onto what will work with other channels. And in your case, you're actually stepping into a gold mine that you probably might not be aware of, because like if you are going to be working with other realtors to where you're also getting access to their data and all of that, then you're going to get tons of insight that you most likely don't have just from your own channel. Because even though they're still going to be in the same niche, like one thing that you start to notice when you start working with other channels in any capacity is you start noticing like, this is interesting. So like, it seems like when people do this on a gaming channel, it works most of the time, but not all gaming channels. Or when people do this on a gaming channel, it works, but when they do the same exact thing to a vlog channel or to a tutorial channel, doesn't seem to work over there, right? And you start noticing like all these weird things like that, to where when you get access to more data, you start noticing like, oh, okay, well, it doesn't just work the way that it works on my channel. Like it works differently for all of these different types of channels. And some things are kind of blanket rules. Other things are individual to that particular channel. It's interesting. Gives you a lot of fun information to play with. Let's see here. Psycha Chromazone, like your name, clever. Says, how come my new video doesn't have much views? I worked hard on it. Please answer. So Psycha Chromazone, in reality, and please don't take this the wrong way, but how hard you worked on your video doesn't equate to that doesn't equal how many views that you're going to get on your video. Okay. Like some people will work just as hard as you or half as hard as you or harder than you, and they'll get better or worse results or the same results based on how people are responding to their content more than how hard they are not working on the content. So just because you worked on it hard does not automatically entitle you to getting views on the video, right? Because there's other things too. Like just because you worked hard on it doesn't mean that if somebody else were to work on that same video that they would have had to have worked as hard, right? And then there's other people that might not have any idea on how to do videos at all that might come in and work 10 times harder on that same video than you did. But that still doesn't mean that they should get views for how hard they worked on that video, because at the end of the day, it comes down to how are people actually responding to that video that you made, right? And you can find that out inside of your audience retention reports. It comes down to how people are interacting with your content a lot more, not even a lot more, 100%. It comes down to how people are interacting with your content. It doesn't matter if you spent 20 minutes on a video or if you spent 6 days on a video. YouTube is still going to judge that video based on how people are interacting with that content. Your Real Estate Whisperer, thanks for the 5 spot, saying, wow, this is awesome information. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. And everybody else in the chat right now, if you are also enjoying this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. And if you gave it a thumbs up, give me a hashtag thumbs up as well so I can know who you are giving this video a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Yeah, Vigard says, nobody cares if I spend a week or an hour on a video. Absolutely. They care about what they get out of it. They care about their experience. That's all it comes down to. Let's see here. We've got Rita Draws from Australia. Very cool. Welcome to the live stream. Which apps do you recommend to make links? Interesting. Yeah, I would use like Bitly, Google, which I think they're going to be phasing out soon, but they have a link shortener as well. You can also use that. You can also set up your own stuff on your own website. Those are all good options for you. Let me go ahead and approve that comment there. Okay, Hybrid Steel says that there's one guy in our Discord who spent 10 hours on a video and he got 10 views. There you have it. Let's see here. Nicole's Life in the USA says, Doug, where can I apply to be YouTube certified? Where can I find the course? Thank you. If you just Google for YouTube certification, then you'll start seeing all types of information on it. Very good for professional reasons. Very good for educating yourself. But unless you're actually going to use that certification in terms of like something that you can tout, so to speak, then the actual certification itself isn't going to be that important to you in terms of, having that little badge inside of your creator or inside of your Google account. But it is good, if you're offering services or something like that, being able to say that you're certified. Hybrid Steel saying 15-hour stream. Yeah, I'm going for it tonight. Just kidding. Yeah, Google. Yeah, I also read, Kim, that it's that they're phasing that out as well, which is going to make for a lot of broken links all over the place eventually. I think they're going to keep it to where like links that are already up are going to be okay, but then they're going to make it to where like old links, as an example, or I'm sorry, where old links are going to be okay, but like new links, to my understanding, are going to be phased out. But it's unfortunate. Okay, John Wolf has a great question saying, what do you think about buying some ads? So I boost my channel at the start. I have 142 subs. What I recommend if you're going to buy ads is, if you're buying ads, you're most likely going for just trying to get, well, you actually say it, that you're trying to boost your channel at the start with ads, right? So basically you're trying to speed up the process. I understand. I get it. However, one thing that I want you to consider is when you stop spending money, what's going to happen then? Right? Because like if you're at 142 subs and you're wanting to spend ads, just a little bit of money here and there just to kind of, keep that steady traffic coming in to where you're converting some of them into subscribers and all that. I get it. But on the flip side, if you're not doing anything now to make some of that money back, then essentially you're just dumping all of this money into stuff that you might be able to get better results in another way by, by really digging into your stats and learning how to use your audience retention reports and all that stuff to make sure that you're making videos that people are watching, making sure that you're making good thumbnails and titles so that YouTube itself will promote you more so you don't need to buy ads. In that case, then you can use that ad money maybe to educate yourself or to give yourself a break on something so that you can go through like the YouTube Creator Academy or something like that. Yes, absolutely. Spending money, you can get views, you can get people that will see that ad, that will come to your channel, that will end up subscribing as long as you're targeting the right audience without question. However, what are you actually spending that money for? Right? Like if you have something to where on your channel you're able to recoup that money, to where let's say that you're see, I can't open your channel. Like let's say that you are that you have like something that you're selling on the back end to where you can recoup some of the money that you're spending or all of the money or make a profit on the money that you're spending. In that case, it makes a lot of sense. But if you're doing it just for the sake of getting views and subscribers, in my opinion, unless you're doing it at a very large scale, it's not necessarily worth it. E for Electric in the house. What is going on, man? Nice to see you in here, Alex. So Alex just recently crossed 20,000 subscribers. As a matter of fact, it was last night / this morning. So high five and fist bump to Alex from E for Electric. Let's give Alex a hashtag 20K for crossing the 20,000 subscriber milestone. Congratulations there, Alex. I actually just did it wrong. There we go. Hashtag 20K to Alex for crossing the 20,000 subscriber milestone there. That's what I'm talking about. Boom, 20K, giving himself the hashtag 20K. That's what I'm talking about. Woo. Yeah, good stuff. Look at all those 20Ks. That's what I'm talking about right there. Go, Alex. Yeah, so with Alex, right? Like we met like last year. It was, I don't know, probably a year and a half ago, maybe. And when we first met, like he was just getting going on his channel. Now, like it's awesome watching the progress that all of us make in our YouTube journey. But like now he has like companies like flying him all over the place to, you know, like represent or not represent, but to like cover events and things like that. Like all of that is just coming from his YouTube channel. It's just incredible to watch. Love it. Let's see here. Okay, so Venema Production says that I get a huge number of views, but the subscriber count grows really slowly. What could the problem be? 9 subs with 2,000 minutes of watch time. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually going to pull this up really quick. I'm going to open a new browser for it because you're like, I'm not sure what a lot of views is to you. Like, I'm not sure what your interpretation of a lot of views is. That's why I'm pulling your channel up real quick. Okay, you have 4 videos, so you're fine. Yeah, you've got like 55 views, 211 views, 79 views, and 101 views. You're fine. Keep making content because right now, like when I land on your channel page, and nobody can see this in the chat, you know, of course, because I'm looking at this myself. But like when I land on your channel page, 1, it's not clear what's going on in your channel. 2, you've only got 4 videos, so there's no reason for people to subscribe when they land on your channel page. So you need to make more content. So start with getting more content out there and then go from there. But the very first thing you got to do is you got to get content because, like, as an example, if I personally land on a channel that has 4 videos on it, I usually won't subscribe either. And the reason for that is because if like, I don't know if they're going to keep going. I don't know if they just put up those videos and they're done. You know, like it's not like a consistent channel that I know, oh, well, I'm going to subscribe here because they're going to keep putting stuff out. Right. So just make more content. Vigard saying, do you use the cloud lifter with your Shure? Absolutely, I do. Yeah, so I have the cloud lifter pushing it. Basically, this is going through the cloud lifter, and then from the cloud lifter, it's going into my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. 2i2. Let's see here. Is it good to make different types of videos that would affect your views and subscriber count? I'm not sure what you mean by that question, but of course you want to make videos that are going to convert viewers into subscribers. You also want to make videos that would generate subscribers as well. Because like if you're making videos that are not generating subscribers, then your growth is going to take a lot longer than if you're focusing on content to where it's like, hey, these particular type of videos, every time I make a video like this, then I get a bump in subscribers, right? You focus on making more of those videos as long as it's in line with your goals. Then you are right on the right path to keep making content that people are responding to. And a lot of channels will start and they'll have this, hey, I'm going this direction, but then people will start responding to their content in a different way and take them in a totally different direction. And then they focus on that. On my channel, the one you're watching right now, that's what happened here. Like I was doing like internet stuff and more like video related stuff, but I wasn't specifically doing YouTube stuff. Like I was sharing some like how to edit videos for YouTube, like that kind of stuff, but I wasn't doing any like views and subscriber type of videos. But then I did a collaboration with Brian G, and in that video, it was on like how to rank videos for search, which is kind of a view related video. And then people started asking me to make more YouTube stuff. So I followed that and I was like, hey, people want me to make more YouTube stuff. So I'm going to make more YouTube stuff. And then bam, here we are now as a, I'm categorized by people as a YouTube tips channel now. Let's see here. What else we got? Let's get some more YouTube questions coming in here. What's up, Caroline and Tigger? Nice to see you in here. How do you grow a specific niche of content? Says Sombra Haipu. So you're saying like, how do you create a niche, or how do you just start making content for a niche? So if you're trying to grow a specific niche of content or a specific niche group of content, then you just organize it all into playlists and say, okay, these are the different blocks of content that I'm going to make. That's going to serve different aspects of the niche that I'm operating in, so that you can create binge watches for all the different blocks of content that you're putting together. Let's see here. Great question, Wanda the Fam. Wanda the Fam asked, do I have to make a separate email address for YouTube from my personal email? No, but one thing that I would recommend is yes. So like if you have on your About Me page where somebody can click on your business inquiry email and send you an email, depending on how big your channel is right now, that might not be a big deal. You might not be getting a lot of emails from that. However, as your channel grows and people are like starting to see your stuff more, then you're going to have more people trying to reach out to you, just to like, talk and all that. You're also going to have more companies trying to reach out and things like that. So because of that, for the sake of keeping your personal stuff organized and your business stuff organized or your channel stuff organized, I would have a personal email, and then I would also have a channel email or a business email, so that like any sponsors that want to get in touch, or any people that want you to make videos for them, or any fan that wants to get in touch, any viewer that wants to get in touch, so that they have a way to do it, but it doesn't impede on your personal email box as well. And depending on what it is that you're doing, like you may have to do several different emails in order to make sure people are going to the right place. So like as an example, like I've got filters to where like the Ask Nim email that I have in the description of this video, if you send me an email there, then what happens is that email is going to get an auto response to you, letting you know that that I get a lot of emails there, and because of that, there's going to be a little bit of a delay on me getting back to you, but I'll get back to you as soon as I see it. And then from there, anybody that I'm creating a business relationship with will go into a different email. And then if they end up being like a sponsor per se, or somebody like that I'm like actively doing business with, then they'll get a different email. So it's just kind of a tiered thing based on where we're at in the relationship. Okay, Derpy Gold says, if I were to get a play button, such as the silver one, do I need YouTube to know my address or not? Yeah, they got to know where to send it. Let's see here. Tom Nash says, Nick, where can people get the shirt that I'm wearing? I think there's a link to it in the description of this video. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's a link in the description of this video for that. I felt something other than my thumbnails are pushing people away. Can you go see the problem and report back? No. Yeah, because we're not doing that in this live stream, and I know I can't do that. But what you want to do is you want to go and look at your click-through ratio or your click-through rate on your thumbnails and see what you're getting there. And you also want to look at the audience retention on your video. That's going to give you like what you feel versus what the data is giving you, the information that the data itself is giving you. Are they may or may not be related, and because of that, you need to actually dig into the data, because it has nothing to do with how you feel why people aren't responding. It has to do with what does the data say and what can I get from that data. Then you start making the hypothesis that you can test, and you start saying, okay, well, in my audience retention reports, people are dropping off around here, and it seems to happen in all of my videos that they drop off when I do these particular things. So because of that, you need to say, okay, well, I'm going to make a hypothesis that I think that people are dropping off because of XYZ. And then from there, you say, okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start testing against this and see if I can prove my idea right or wrong in terms of why people are or are not responding to my content. Same exact thing goes with your thumbnails. If you're getting a bad click-through ratio on your thumbnails, then you have to look at those and say, okay, I'm looking at my thumbnails. Now I'm going to compare my thumbnails with everybody else in my niche. I'm going to search for terms that I'm trying to target, and I'm going to start seeing, okay, where am I showing up? Where am I not showing up? How do my thumbnails compare next to the thumbnails that are showing up next to mine? And what can I do to make my thumbnails better? And then again, you're making that hypothesis. What can I do to make my thumbnails better? And then from there, you say, okay, well, this is what I think that I can do to make my thumbnails better. This is what I think I can do to make my thumbnails stand out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start running tests against this. And you can actually use TubeBuddy for that as well. Link to TubeBuddy's in the description because they have the A/B testing tool. But you can say, okay, I'm going to start running these thumbnails against each other, and I'm going to start comparing how people are responding to these different thumbnails through A/B testing. And then I'm going to make my decisions based on that again, which ends up falling more on data and less on how you feel. But you basically start with the data, then you introduce how you feel, and you make your hypothesis on why it is that you think something is or is not working. And then you start running tests against it to prove it right or wrong. Let's see here. The machine says, why am I getting so few impressions? Sometimes less than 100 in a month. So if you're getting less than 100 impressions in a month, then it probably means that you're that people just aren't responding. Because like if you're not getting impressions, that basically means that YouTube is not pushing you out. They're not promoting you on the platform. And the reason they don't promote you on the platform is because people aren't responding to the thumbnails. You're not generating clicks. And if you do generate clicks, then you're not generating watch time from the videos once they're actually hitting the videos. Let's see here. Carmen says, do you recommend having a media kit for sponsors and brand deals? Even though they are not 100% necessary, I definitely do recommend it. And I recommend it because some people will actually ask you for it. And if somebody does ask you for it, you, without question, you'll want to be prepared for it. You can get media kits. You can get them off of like Graphic River, graphicriver.net or .com. I'm not sure which one it is, but just if you Google Graphic River, it'll be the first thing that comes up. But like Graphic River, you can get them there. You can get them off of some of the other sites to where people do like freelance stuff as well. Just so you can have like a nice base of something to work with, something that looks nice, something that looks professional, instead of making something in like, unless you're really good at like Microsoft Word, you can make things look really good there, but having something that's like graphically pleasing as well as sharing the actual data of what's going on with your channel is definitely something you want to do. Patty is saying that the sound on the stream has improved greatly. That's good. Yeah, it's very good to hear. I've noticed on my view also, it doesn't seem that it's breaking up as much. I don't know if it is or not, but yeah, let me know if you're, for everybody in the chat that's hearing this, let me know if it's getting better, if it's worse. Just do a hashtag better, hashtag worse, hashtag same, just so I can kind of gauge what's going on here with the audio and the quality of the stream. Let's see here. Okay, so SPF Infinity is saying something here that I want to bring to everyone's attention. So SPF Infinity is saying that I will be entering my first affiliate link sponsorship soon. Any advice? I want to let you know, SPF Infinity and everybody else, that an affiliate link sponsorship is not a sponsorship. All you're doing is you're promoting as an affiliate. That's it. If they're giving you money, you're a real estate whisperer, have fun, enjoy going through that. Let me know if you get it. That'd be awesome to know. Yeah, SPF Infinity and everybody in the chat, if you have a company that reaches out to you and they say, hey, we want to sponsor you, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to give you this special link, and then if you use this special link in your description or in a card or whatever, if you use the special link and somebody buys, then we're going to give you money. What they're doing is they're just taking you on as an affiliate. You're not getting any real benefit for that unless people actually buy it. But don't frame it as you're getting sponsored, because you're not. And a lot of companies will do that. They'll say, oh yeah, this sponsorship thing, because people don't know that, right? There's actually somebody on Reddit right now. They just made a Reddit post. It was either in our YouTube or our YouTubers. And in that post, same exact thing. They're talking about, like sponsoring with links. It's a tracking link. And if somebody buys from your link, then you're going to get a commission. That is in no way sponsorship. That is not sponsorship, even 1%. What that is that's affiliate marketing. It's a totally different thing. And what you're doing when you take those deals is you are basically taking something because somebody sent you an email and you're saying, okay, well, I'm going to market this because they sent me an email, and they're framing it around a sponsorship. Whereas you might be able to find something way better than what they have that is a much better fit for the audience that you have, to where you would be able to sell even more, or something that's recurring to where you're constantly, every single month you're getting like a recurring commission off of it or something like that. But like just an affiliate link is definitely not a sponsorship in any way, shape, or form. So for everybody in the chat, if you have people reaching out for you that tells you that it's a sponsorship because they're giving you a tracking link, that is not a sponsorship. It's a sponsorship if they're giving you money in exchange for making a video, or in exchange for brand promotion of some kind, right? It's not based on the performance of your link. If it's based on the performance of your link, you're doing affiliate marketing. If it's based on that brand exposure, if it's based on you continually mentioning them or making a video specific for them, that is a sponsorship. Okay. So just keep that in mind. I even mentioned that in that post on Reddit, because I just don't like seeing companies do that to people, because it sounds like a bigger deal than it is, when really they're just trying to, like, not that they're trying to really, but they're just kind of like scamming people into thinking that it's a sponsorship when really it's not. Okay, so we've got better. Okay, yeah, good to hear. Same, better. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, yeah, good, fantastic. Let's see here. How do you get people all around the world to subscribe to you, make content that people respond to? Rodine Edwards saying, why is TubeBuddy giving me problems? I'm not sure. They have an awesome support team, so shoot them up, hit them up in chat, and they will and they'll definitely get you taken care of. They're extremely responsive over there. Let's see here. Okay, so stupid YouTuber. Love the channel name. That's awesome. Okay, so stupid YouTuber says, if I change my thumbnails after 30 days because it's not doing well, will that impact my video in any way? So the act of changing the thumbnail isn't going to make a difference. However, how people respond to that thumbnail can make a difference, and it can make a difference positively, or it can make a difference negatively. So what I mean by that is, if you have a video and people are not responding to the thumbnail and they're not clicking on that thumbnail, but then all of a sudden you change the thumbnail and then people start responding to that thumbnail and they start clicking it a lot, and then you're getting the watch time on the back end of that when they actually hit your video, then yes, your video will do better. If your thumbnail's better, but then they're clicking on it more, but you're still getting less watch time than the people that you're competing against, then it's not going to do you much good. And if you make a change to where your thumbnail is getting clicked on less, then it can cause your video to perform worse. So just keep that in mind. And also keep in mind, with thumbnails, you're also building expectations of the content and things like that. Like, so when they click on it, like, what is it that they actually expect to see versus what it is that you give them and things like that. So you have to make sure all that lines up as well. But yeah, it can help and hurt, but the act of changing it doesn't do it. It's actually what happens or how people respond to it once you actually change it. Let's see here. Cheap but good cameras for YouTube. Definitely depends on what it is that you are trying to do, what type of content it is specifically you're trying to make. We got so much better, same. Okay, nice. SPF Infinity says, yes, poor wording on my part. Oh, no, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, like if you are, if you're doing the affiliate side, just actively drive people to those links. That's how you're going to get the best result out of that. If they're sponsoring you, or if you're doing affiliates, you can have passive or active affiliates or affiliate marketing, to where, it's stuff that you always put in your description. So when people are down there, they know that it's down there, and then you get the sales over time. Or there can be something that you can put a push on, to where it's like, hey, I'm like trying to push people to actually go down and see these links that I have down there. In that case, then you're being more active about it. And by pushing people to those links, maybe you're doing like a review of something, and then you're like, hey, a link to this is down in the description, or you get to save, you get like this promo code, whatever, where you can save whatever, and you're actually pushing people to it. Then in that case, you definitely want to put those calls to action to actually tell people to go down and actually click on your link. Let's see here. Gabsters says, Nick, can you make a video showing how to use the editing software you recommended for Windows, please? That would be so much appreciated. Yeah, I have videos on my channel about how to edit videos, but in terms of, because I recommend tons of different software. So in terms of an actual tutorial for all the different types of software that I recommend on my channel. Right now, I'm not going to make that content, but I do have a series that's going to be coming out relatively soon on how to actually edit videos in general for YouTube. Let's see here. AJ Ballinger says, I can't afford my Adobe subscription anymore. I'm thinking of downgrading to Adobe Elements or another cheaper software. Any thoughts? Yeah, do it. Like if you need to downgrade, then downgrade. You know, like if that's what you have to work with, like even right now in the stream, right? We're having tech problems and I'm having to do it from home instead of the studio and all that stuff, but it's what I have to work with now. And that's what I'm doing. Right. So in that situation where you need to downgrade your equipment or whatever it is that you have to do in order to, keep it all rolling, then absolutely go with Adobe Elements or another cheaper software, even free software like DaVinci Resolve or something like that. And just go that route instead of paying that monthly subscription until you can get back on your feet. Miriam Havard, Harvard. I don't know if I'm saying that right. My apologies if not. Saying thanks for clearing it up about sponsorship. My pleasure. Let's see here. D saying that he stepped away. Yeah, he's in there cranking on the computer trying to get all that stuff worked out. Try number 9. Any tips on making a channel trailer better? Yeah, basically with the channel trailer, you want to make it to where you're telling people, well, first you want to think about that trailer channel spot. What is it that you want to do with it? Like in your case, I'm not sure. I can't remember on your channel, like, because I know you're like an awesome designer grabster. So I don't know if you're like selling design services or what it is that you're trying to accomplish, but the channel trailer spot, if you're using it just for the sake of letting people know about your YouTube channel, then in that case, when it opens up, you want to start with the benefit of what it is that they're going to get. Tell them what type of content it is that you make, show them some examples of it. Or let's say you're doing vlog style content, that you might want to start it with a, hey, we're the whatever family, and welcome to our family vlog. And then you start going into the actual, like what type of vlogs that you do. Every week we're doing this, that, and the other thing. And then you start explaining what it is that you're doing, which falls on that viewer benefit. And give them some samples of the content, that kind of stuff through that conversation. And then once you're done with that, of course, make sure you ask them to subscribe. And then after you ask them to subscribe, then you have that opportunity to go a little bit deeper in terms of, why it is that you're on YouTube and why it is that you wanted to share about this, so they can connect with you personally as a person, which is also personally, so that they can connect with you as a person, as well as knowing the benefit that they're going to get from you. Let's see here. Baytown Cowboy 85 says, hey, Nick, I have 3,500 subscribers. Congratulations. And I have 589,319 overall views. I just started live streaming this year, and I'm only receiving around 1 to 6 viewers per stream. Can you explain why? I would have to see what type of content it is that you are making, and I would have to see what your live streams are like. Because, like, if you have 3,500 subscribers and you're getting like 1 to 6 viewers per stream, then I would look into what time you're streaming. I would look into how you're titling your videos and your thumbnails for your live stream. I would look into here. I'll actually, I can't pull you up on screen, but darn it, I can pull your channel up here into YouTube as long as it's searchable. Hold on. Let me see if I can find you here real quick. Okay. So you're doing games. Okay. So since you're a gamer and you're doing gaming live streams, then in that case, it might just be because your particular audience might not be into the live streams that much, to where you have to actually build that community. In order to build that community, a few things that I recommend for you is to, even though you're only getting 1 to 6 people per live stream right now, I recommend that you start live streaming on a schedule to where your viewers can know every single week or every few days, whenever it is that you live stream, they know they can count on coming to your live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or like in my case, every Saturday. So it can become a thing, so to speak, to where your community, as your channel grows, as it all builds, so that they can start expecting you to live stream at that particular time. That can definitely help viewership. In terms of why people are not coming in mass right now, I'm looking for something that would be obvious to be live, and I don't see it here on your channel page. Maybe all of this, I'm not sure. But here, hold on. Call of Duty, Kills and Domination. Yeah, so it looks like you're just like, maybe if you are live streaming, you're doing like Let's Plays or something like that. But one thing that I would recommend to you, just unrelated to your question actually, is like, I see here you have like a massive snake video on your channel. One thing that I would recommend is like, if you're going to be a gaming channel, be a gaming channel and save that kind of stuff, right? And like your who's bored video, like right now, I would just focus on doing the games just for the sake of tapping into that gaming community. And if you are going to do an actual video of something else, still make it kind of game related or something that gamers would be interested in, instead of going completely off and doing something like about a big snake as an example, unless that's just for the thumbnail and it's actually like a game inside. I'm not sure. But yeah, as far as the low viewership though, like it's just the expectation. People probably don't know when your streams are happening. I would also experiment with scheduling a stream so that when you like, let's say that you plan to go live this time tomorrow, I would go ahead and schedule the stream now, so that as people are coming in and they're watching your videos, they know that you're going to be streaming. But in addition to that, even on your view counts on your videos aren't that high right now. So I would also look into that in terms of why people aren't coming into your live streams. Because even your videos don't get a ton of views on them. So because of that, you can't expect a lot of people to come into your live stream. Like if you're getting 61 views on a video that's been up for a week, you can't expect a ton of people to come into your live stream either, because like if your notifications are only going out that far, then when your live stream happens, those same notifications are still going out that far. So because of that, I wouldn't expect those big numbers yet. But what I would do is I would definitely start live streaming on a schedule, so you can start building in that community aspect of what it is that you're doing. Penguin Speak says, can you have multiple affiliates? Absolutely. Absolutely, you can. It's actually, I recommend it. Not only can you, but I recommend it because like the Baytown Cowboy, my pleasure. But basically like when it comes to like affiliate links, like the really cool thing is like you might have one thing that you're promoting and it's like doing awesome, right? And then you're like, okay, well, let's promote something else. And then that starts doing awesome too. Then it's like, okay, well, now I just took this one thing that was doing great. Now I have this other thing that's also doing great. So I have like these two things that are coming in. And then you start thinking like, wait a minute, if I've got this and this, and these are both coming in and I'm doing great on the affiliate side with these, then what would happen if I added like this and this? Right. And then these start doing well. And then it's like, wow, I'm getting like all this stuff is like doing great. But like you don't want to constantly be hammering people with stuff. But what you do want to do is you want to find a handful of things that you can support in terms of being an affiliate marketer. You want to find a handful of things that you can support on a regular basis so that you can continually send traffic there. And by doing that, as your channel grows, then you're going to start sending more traffic. You're going to have all of those videos that are working on your behalf, sending traffic to these handful of things. And some months, one thing might be down a little bit, but the other thing's going to be up. Sometimes this one's down, this one's up. Sometimes everything's going great. Sometimes everything's not great. But even when it drops, what you're getting across the board, promoting a nice handful of things, definitely adds up to way more than you would have gotten if you were just relying on that one particular affiliate link. Let's see here. Hey, dude, I want to be a vlogging channel. What's the best way to grow? Make awesome vlogs. Just be creative, right? Because there's so many vlogging channels out there. Because here's the thing. It's so easy to do this. Hey, what is going on? Today, I'm going to go to this place and we're going to go grab some food and it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a great time. Let's go, follow me. And this is what we're going to do, right? That's so easy. So because of that, tons of people are doing it. So try to be creative. Look at people that are doing it at a high level and really try to pick it apart and say, you know, like Casey Neistat, what's he doing? Like, if you look at his content, like even like when he's framing a lot of his shots, like they're like actually like framed shots. Like there's a lot of thought that goes into his vlogs. It's not just like, oh, hey, I'm just going to pull my phone out and do it, which he does some of that too. But it's still like thought out stuff, right? He's not just winging it. So think about what it is that you're doing and try to think of how you can kind of carve out something that's unique to you, because in that world, vlogging's kind of like gaming, right? To where it's like, you know, like everybody can document their life. But how do you document your life in a way that's interesting and that makes people want to watch what it is that you're doing? Let's see here. Okay, Stuck in Gaming says, how do some YouTubers with no good tags or titles like Quentin, who plays Fortnite, get so many views, but I can't? My guess is because whoever Quentin is, they are responding to his content. His viewers are responding to his content, and that causes YouTube to promote him out. Or her out, it looks like she may be a she. Hold on, I'm actually pulling it up right now. Yeah, so yeah, in situations like that, yeah, people are just responding to them. They're responding to their thumbnails. And you also, like, when you're looking at this stuff, you got to think about this also. Like, you don't know. Like, you can look at this when you look at any competitor channel. You can look at it and you can say, well, why are they doing better than me? Why are they doing this when my channel's doing this? But at the end of the day, you don't know if they're getting shout outs. You don't know if they have a website they're sending traffic from. You don't know if they have a big following on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere else that they're getting traffic from that you don't know about. So comparing yourself to these other people, yes, it's good to say, this is kind of a standard of what's going on in my industry when I put out a video about these particular things. These are like a general base kind of an idea of views of channels of different sizes that that are getting, you know, about this many views for this kind of content, that kind of stuff. But in terms of like saying my channel versus this channel, analyzing is good, but giving yourself a hard time about it and saying why is that working for them and it's not working for me, you have to also consider where they might be getting their traffic from and other things that they might be doing in terms of promotion that you are not. As a starter, they've got like 13,000 subscribers. Pull your channel up here. I'm going to see if I can search for it and find it. Okay, you've got 1,000 subscribers. So you have 279 videos on your channel. Doing similar stuff. Your titles are really long, by the way. Just a heads up. Like, your titles are like crazy long. I would definitely shorten those titles up. It looks like you're trying to cram like everything you possibly can into your titles. I would shorten those titles up. Like, every video you put out, I would start shortening your titles up quite a bit, actually. Your titles are crazy long. Even in contrast, right? Like, just with that alone, like, I just pulled up Quentin again, and like Quentin's titles, some of them are long, some of them are long, some of them are not. Some of them are like normal title size, but some of them are also long. But yeah, I'd have to dig into both of your channels, like on the back end, and then I'd be able to tell you. But just from like a quick glance on the outside, like, I don't know anything about their content. I don't know anything about your content to actually make that comparison. But if people are responding to their thumbnails over yours, then that alone could be the win. Or if they're just getting more watch time, if like when they're playing their game, if people are just watching it for a long period of time, then YouTube is like, if they're getting a lot of watch time on their videos, then YouTube is going to keep promoting them regardless of what it is they're on their titles and their tags. Ghost Gamer is saying, Nick, should I start streaming with face cam or wait until I get an audience? That's totally your call. Of course, you know, you can grow either way. You can grow your channel either way. There's tons of channels that are big that people have never seen the creators' faces before, plenty of those, and you can grow that way. But if you want to create that like personal connection with your audience, letting them see your face is definitely a plus. Keep in mind, with showing your face, there also comes bias to where, or judgment to where people right now, if you're playing games and you're not showing your face right now, people are judging you based on like how you communicate, how you play your game, stuff like that. But as soon as you add your face to the mix, then people are going to be judging you on that as well. So just as a heads up, just keep that in mind, that when you do start showing your face, then people are going to be making those judgments. It can be good, it can be bad, you know, it might not matter, but just keep that in mind that you are adding that additional dynamic to what it is that you're doing. Let's see here. Okay. Talking Hat Studios says that it seems like you paid for an ad. Okay. I'm Hawaii. Hey, Nick, should I edit using KineMaster or HitFilm? If you want to do it on your phone, KineMaster is awesome. HitFilm is also good if you want to do it on your computer. So it just depends on what fits best into your workflow. Egypt God Anubis says, Nick, can you get a lot of watch time from live streaming? Yes, you can get tons of watch time from live streaming if you have a lot of people coming into your streams. Let's see here. Let's get some more YouTube questions coming in. Let me know, just out of curiosity, just to see what is going on. I'll give me a hashtag on where you're from too. I just like seeing like who all's in the stream, you know, where are people at, you know, like what are people, you know, like, are people in like Atlanta? Are people in like, I know somebody said that they were in Kenya. I just like getting, you know, just kind of a general idea. So give me a hashtag and then whatever, you don't have to be specific, but in terms of like, maybe like the area or maybe like the state maybe, or the country, you know, wherever you wanted to do it. I'm just curious where everybody's watching from. Mr. Torbuild says, my other account got terminated for community guidelines. And also I did show my face before, and now Does YouTube show my identity and terminate my channel straight away? No, they're not going to see your identity and terminate your channel straight away. However, it is in the YouTube terms of service that if you have a channel terminated, that you're not supposed to create another account. So just be mindful of that. Let's see here. I have 30 videos, but only 10 subs. What do I do? How do I grow gaming channel? If you have 30 videos and only 10 subs, then that means that you need to really focus on what it is that you're doing for your viewers, Capgam. So if you're not converting those viewers into subscribers, then you might want to think about what it is that you're doing in your content. Like, why should people subscribe to you? Why does your content matter to someone else other than you? Right? Think of that. Think of what is it that you're doing in your content that would be important enough to somebody else to make them want to subscribe. And if you can't come up with any ideas, then start coming up with ideas of what you can do to where you can make your content more important to other people, and then they'll start subscribing at a faster rate. Let's see here. Tom Nash says, let's see here. Gaming, you either have to be amazing at it or have a killer personality. Yeah, or sharing some type of unique value also. You know, like Paul over at the Schooled Zone, he just crossed 100,000 subscribers recently. Great personality he does have, I'll say that. But he basically mixed science and education with his gaming content, and that was his way that he stood out, and it worked great for him. So definitely, you know, it's not just about the personality or how awesome you are at the game. It's also just finding a unique value that you can give to people through whatever type of content that you are that you're making. What's up, Midnight Madness 4x4? Let's see here. Kim here says, Nick, do you have any ideas for searchable content for a vlog channel? My videos are different, creative, but I have a discoverability issue. Yeah, so there's a channel called The Weiss Life, I think it's called. We interviewed them for a podcast. The guy, hold on, Weiss Life. There it is. They are at almost 500,000 subscribers now. They're just cruising. They're like 300 and some change when we interviewed them. But basically, one of the things that they leaned on for a long period of time, they were just uploading videos. And then they changed it from we're just uploading videos to now we're going to start uploading edited videos that are edited well. And right away, they started seeing better results. And then from there, they started saying, okay, what can we do to where we can actually start ranking some of these videos for search so that we can increase our chances of discovery? Because with that vlog style content, it is difficult to rank some of this stuff in search. But what he shared with us in the interview was every single situation that they were in while they were trying to get the momentum going on their channel, every video that they were putting out, they would sit down and they would try to think, okay, what can we frame this around to where we can rank somewhere and search for this? We can at least attempt to rank somewhere and search for this. And because they did that, they still have videos to this day to where they couldn't accomplish that with every single video that they uploaded, but they try to do it with the majority. So that still to this day, they have videos in search that are driving traffic their way. So just try to think of how you can frame what it is that you're doing around a particular search term. It can even be local. So like if you are doing stuff in your area, then you can spend a lot of your SEO efforts just trying to optimize locally. Like what different events happen locally? What different places can I go and highlight within my vlogs to where I can optimize my videos for search to where as a base foundation, I can just dominate search for everything locally. Right. And then start building up from there by trying to go broader with the different terms that you're going for, because trying to rank for your stuff locally, even though the volume might not be as high in terms of the views that you would get, it will help you build a really nice, solid foundation. And then from there, you can start expanding out. Let's see here. Hey, Nick, I'm from Japan. Awesome. Nice to see you in here. Masaki Matsumoto. I have a friend of mine with the last name Matsumoto, actually. I'm from Japan. I have a small channel with about 2,000 subscribers. Do you think bilingual creators should have separate channels for each language? Absolutely. I do think that bilingual creators should have separate channels for each language. The reason for that is because as somebody that, well, technically I sort of speak two languages, but as somebody that is an English speaker, when I'm on the internet and I'm looking at English speaking content, if I get a notification from a channel that's a bilingual channel, and then I click on the video and it's in another language, I click out of that video right away. So what is happening there is when I see it on YouTube, I'll click on it and then it ends up being another language and then I leave right away. So what happens there is I'll either end up unsubscribing to the channel or I'll end up training myself to not click on those videos, to where I'll actually go and like search the channel out if I happen to think about it, to where I'll go watch the content that way so I can go and look at what it is that I want. But for the most part, what you're doing is you're actually damaging your click-through rate on that. And you're damaging your audience retention, which is also showing YouTube that people that are coming into your videos are not into the content that you're making. So if you have two separate channels, and they're both targeted toward the same towards the same language, if I speak Japanese and you're uploading content to a Japanese channel, then every single video that you put out is going to be something that I can enjoy. Whereas if you speak Japanese and you have a channel that is Japanese and let's say English or Spanish or something, then what's going to happen is half of your videos are going to be something that I can enjoy. So therefore, I'm going to negatively respond to half of your content when it gets presented to me. So long term, you can create bigger gains by focusing on one language on two different channels, because literally everything you're putting out is going to make sense to that target audience instead of basically splitting that audience in two with the different language content. So all the way around, every single aspect of it, you're going to benefit more by focusing on one language instead of spreading yourself out across different languages. You know, it's kind of like, another way to look at it would be to think of it in terms of like just niching, just having a niche in general, right? To where if you have a channel that's about cars, and then it's also like it's about like how to repair or how to build 4x4 trucks, right? That's some of your videos. And then on the other side of the videos, the other videos that you make are, you know, how to knit sweaters. Well, what's going to happen is you're going to have some people that'll like both, but most of your subscribers are going to come from either the truck content or the knitting content. And then when you upload the trucking content, they're not going to care as much if they came for the knitting content. And then when you upload the knitting content, they're not going to care as much when they come from the trucking content. So the same exact thing applies to different languages. So if you make a channel for each, then in that case, you're like everything that you put out is something right for that particular audience, to where overall it's going to show YouTube that like when we put out these notifications, people are clicking on them more and they're watching the videos for a longer period of time instead of diluting your audience by doing the multiple languages. Hopefully that was the answer that you were looking for. And I actually hope to come to Japan soon. My girlfriend and I are actually talking about possibly going there soon. Let's see here. Grabster says, how does this man talk for hours and his throat doesn't hurt? Blows my mind. So at the studio, we actually have Gatorade. Here, I don't have Gatorade. So I'm just sipping on coffee, which is like the worst thing that I can do. But I've also got like water nearby, stuff like that. Okay. Crafts World says that I don't get how to make thumbnails. So if you don't know how to make thumbnails, what you need to do is you need to watch as many tutorials as you can on graphic design, watch as many tutorials as you can on how to make thumbnails, watch as many tutorials as you can about Photoshop if you're going to start using Photoshop. Watch all of that stuff so that you can start to get an idea of like how colors work, how design works, you know, and all of that so that you can improve what it is that you're doing. And that's one of the things, you know, that's, you know, how I always talk about it being like a long-term thing and being a learning process on YouTube. That's part of it, right? Because like if you make thumbnails and your thumbnails are not good and you have to go through that process, that, you know, that learning curve off of the other learning curves of YouTube, that learning curve of like, okay, well, my thumbnails aren't that great. So now I have to go through the process of educating myself on how to make thumbnails that people will click on too, that are good so that people will click on them. Let's see here. Weird Heather says she only knows how to say konnichiwa in Japanese. Let's see here. D is saying that that as of right now we have 0 upload speed to YouTube from any of the studio. Yep, from or only from the studio. Absolutely. Let's see here. Yono C. Tempaco, my pleasure. Glad you enjoyed that. Josephine D. Smith, what is going on? Nice to see you in here. Oh, you're going to Barcelona. Nice. Vigard dropping a link to the Niminati shirt. Thank you for that, Vigard. Let's see here. Yeah, Grabster has tutorials on how to make thumbnails. Yeah, go watch some of Grabster stuff. I mean, he's super, I mean, graphically, super, super talented. Let's see here. I do entertainment. I work hard, but I don't get subscribers. Please help. SRZ, it has nothing to do with you working hard. It has to do with how people are responding to your content. You can work as hard as you want. And sometimes working hard comes down to, skill or not. Sometimes it comes down to, like time management, like working hard is definitely up for interpretation. Like digging ditches, that's hard work. You know what I mean? Like building a building, that's hard work. You know what I mean? When it comes to like making videos, this stuff isn't hard work. It's not hard work at all. Not even close. But if you're putting in the work and you are doing it, but you're not getting subscribers, and that just means that you need to think of how you can add value to the people that are watching your videos. Because if you're putting out content and people aren't responding to it in terms of subscribing to your channel, then that just means that you have more to learn. It's not a fault of yours. It just means that in the process of learning how all of this stuff works and how to get people to respond to your content and all of that, like you might want to be, if it was like this, you might want to be here or you might want to be here, but in reality, you might be like right here in the learning curve. So you need to go through the process of learning, how do I add value to my audience so that I can make sure that, I'm making them laugh or I'm entertaining them in a way that resonates with them so that they'll subscribe to my channel or so that they'll share my videos with their friends and things like that. So it just means that you have a lot more stuff to learn. I recommend going through the YouTube Creator Academy. I recommend that you watch a lot of other entertainment channels as well for the sake of, making sure that you are completely up to par. Because again, like we mentioned earlier in the stream, like how hard you work isn't something that you get rewarded for in terms of, hey, I spent like 6 hours on this video. Like at the end of the day, somebody watching the video, they don't care. They don't care if you spent 20 minutes on it. They don't care if you spent 2 months on it. What they care about is the experience that they're having while they're watching your video and how that video makes them feel or what it is that they learned from the video or whatever. It has nothing to do. They don't care 1% how much time you actually put into that video. Danielle cutting the caboose in the house towards the studio broadband bill fee and to celebrate CA reaching 2,000 in 2 months. So Creator Answers, her other channel, and this is from Danielle cutting the caboose there at the top. You'll see it in the pink. On her other channel, Creator Answers, she has reached 2,000 subscribers in 2 months. High five, fist bump to you, Danielle, for crushing it on the Creator Answers channel. Let's see here towards the broadband bill. Love it. I'll always dropping something like that. That's funny. Yeah, it's for like coffee or to like fix microphones or to hide wires. she's like live stream error repair. Oh, that's funny. Let's see here. Designless Studios. Hey, Nick, I'm from California. I have a question. What do you think is the main issue a new YouTuber will face? Because what I face is making title for my videos to be searchable. I think the main issue that YouTubers face is learning to balance between making content and everything else that they do. I think that's the biggest problem because like as creators, like we always want to be making stuff. But I think like balancing like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm making enough videos, that I'm putting out videos on a regular basis. But at the same time, I don't want it to impede on like everything that I'm doing in my life. So because of that, I think that's the biggest challenge. However, in terms of what you face is making titles searchable for your videos or making titles in general for your videos. I don't think that there's a blanket rule in terms of, the biggest problem that content creators have in terms of the biggest hurdle that they come across, because there's a bunch of them, because there's, like I was just talking about a minute ago, there's a huge learning curve with all this stuff. Like, like as an example, because you're doing, because you have design as part of your name. So I'm going to guess that you know how to do design stuff. And if not, I apologize, but I'm just using that as an example. So like in your case, you might look at it and you might say, okay, making titles for my videos to be searchable is difficult. And that's a big problem for me. Whereas somebody else might look at it and say, okay, well, I can make titles all day long. I can, I understand innately a little bit from stuff that I read on the internet. I understand what goes into, making content searchable. But I can't make a thumbnail to save my life. Right. Or, I just can't get the content together, present the content in a way to where people respond to it. Right. Things like that, to where, like we all have different challenges with all of this stuff. For some people, it's just getting a workflow together that makes it possible to make content on a regular basis, to where you turn into a content machine instead of just like, oh gosh, it's taking everything I can to get one video out. Right. Like we all have all these different, these different aspects or these different challenges with all this stuff. But in terms of the main issue for me, I think it's just the balance. And actually, let me back that up a little bit. I think expectation is probably the biggest issue that a lot of content creators have, because all of us, every single one of us, we all want people to see our stuff, right? We all want people to see the content that we make. We all want people to respond to what it is that we do. We all want that positive feedback, to know that people are liking our stuff. And I think the most difficult challenge for content creators is that hurdle of, man, I'm putting out all this content, but for whatever reason, people aren't responding to it yet, or I'm not getting the numbers that I expected to get, or I'm not getting the accolades that I was hoping to get, or it's a lot harder to do than I thought it was going to be. Or, I've got 30 videos. How come I don't have 100,000 subscribers yet? Or, things like that, to where I think that a lot of the real problem that content creators have really comes from expectation more than anything, because this is such a long process. I think that it's that expectation that is the biggest hurdle that a lot of content creators have. And if I thought about that a little bit longer, I could probably come up with a bunch more like that. But that's my main ones right now. It's just the balance between creating content and not letting it take over your life, and just expecting everything to go expecting it to be easier than it actually is. Let's see here. Income Stream says, Nick, what is YouTube initial 90 days? How can we take advantage of initial 90 days of a channel? Just put out content. Pay real close attention, Income Stream. Pay really close attention to how people are responding to your content. Just dig into the data. If you're making a channel about income streams, I'm guessing that you're probably a data person. So because of that, I would just dig into your data like crazy. Look at how people are responding to your thumbnails. Look at your audience retention reports to see how people are responding to your to the actual videos that you make, and make adjustments where you need to. But basically, that initial 90 days, depending on how much content you're putting out. I don't know if you're putting out like daily content, if you're putting out content like once a week, I'm not sure. But whatever your pace is, just make sure you're spending time in the data, so that you're not just repeating content that isn't working for you, so that you can say, okay, well, I put out this video. This is the result that I got. Now, how can I improve it? Okay, now I'm putting out another one. This is the result that I got. How can I improve it? And you keep making those steps, instead of, hey, I'm just going to put out a bunch of content, and then it's just going to be there over this 90-day period, but I'm not really sure how people are responding to it. But you basically use the data that YouTube is giving you in every single video that you put out. Spend a lot of time analyzing that data, so that you can make sure that by the time that 90 days is finished, the content that you're putting out is content that people are responding to, so that you can start creating real momentum around what it is that you're doing. Let's see here. Jess and her guy says he can keep talking because YouTube magic. Yeah, that's it. Masaki Matsumoto says, thanks a lot, Nick. My pleasure. Let's see here. Will Patterson on YouTube. Nick Singh, Kiko, do you love me? Kiki. Nope. Let's see here. I did a video about it, though. You'll see it's on a random channel on YouTube. It's a motorbike version, though. I'm on like a scooter, and then I jump off the scooter, and I'm doing the whole thing. Not really. I'm just kidding. Let's see here. What are some screen recording softwares besides OBS that you would suggest? Streamlabs OBS. So if you're using OBS now, I would go with Streamlabs OBS. In addition to that, you can also use Wirecast, which is paid. You can use XSplit. You can use, there's like Ecom Live, I think it's called, or Ecamm Live if you're a Mac user. Bunch of different stuff. Tons of different stuff out there. vMix is also good. But yeah, if you're using OBS now, I recommend that you switch to Streamlabs OBS, because you can integrate a bunch of cool stuff there, like the chat on the screen and all that. They have all these like built-in scenes. They have like thousands of built-in scenes that you can use. All types of really cool templates in there. Let's see here. As I scroll down the page. Trivia question. Who is Mike Pub? Not sure. Weird Heather, not here. And okay, you guys talking to each other there. I'm learning Japanese. I want to be a vlogger and designer in Japan. Nice, Cake Pop Clara. Yeah, very cool. You might actually want to hook up with Masaki there, because they can probably help you on that journey. You guys should probably talk. Masaki and Cake Pop Clara. Let's see here. True Financials. What is going on, man? Nice to see you in here. I haven't seen you in a while. Saying, does deleting a playlist hurt some of your data? Well, technically, yes, because those, not hurt per se, but those playlists do get views. Those views do get counted as playlist views. And because of that, yes, because you are taking some of those out, but it's not something that's going to, like, unless you go through and you delete everything you have, it's not something that's going to make a big impact. So if it's like a couple of playlists, I wouldn't even worry about it. Let's see here. How to get subscribers from commenting? Interesting question. It's not just about commenting gaming and stuff. It's about actually like getting to know people, being in the community and stuff like that. That's one way. But your time's probably better spent if like that's what you're if that's your goal. Like, hey, I'm commenting for the sake of getting subscribers. If that's what you're after, then it's probably best that you just try to like optimize your videos for search or something and spend your time doing that instead. Because like with all this stuff, like it all seems to work better. And back me up in the chat, you know, if you think the same or if you've experienced the same. But it seems like the more with all this stuff, like the more that you give in terms of like the value to the people that are watching your content, be it like your helpful stuff, if you're good at making people laugh, if you are, you know, like an uplifting person or motivational in some way, whatever, the where it seems like the more that you give to your own community, the more it comes back, right? So in that regard, I would like if you're commenting just so that you can get subscribers, then I just wouldn't do that. Because your intention is dilute or it's dirty in my opinion. So because of that, I would focus your efforts elsewhere. But if you're commenting for the sake of just being like in the community, then in that case, then keep on commenting, and then those subscribers will naturally come from the community. But really, at the end of the day, you're going to have decent content that people want to watch, because even if you're leaving awesome comments, you still got to have content that people enjoy, because if not, you might get like some mercy subscribes, but really like in reality, those people aren't going to care about your content. So, you know, at the end of the day, it comes down to really like, if you really want to get subscribers on your channel, make content that people care about, and make content that people benefit from in some way, shape, or form. Let's see here. Capgam says, when you reviewed my channel last time, you said that my channel art was messy. Messy how? I don't get it. For that, Capgam, I'd have to pull up your channel, and I don't have the ability here to pull your channel up on screen today, because as you can see, I'm at a different place than I normally am for the Saturday stream. So I won't be able to assist you on that today. But I'm guessing if I said that it looked messy in a live stream, that probably means that you just have stuff all over the place. And if you don't understand what that means, then that's where you should look on. You should watch some tutorials, read some blog posts, read some information on graphic design and white space. Let's see here. Okay, we've got that one. Tom Gillard saying D, may the force be with you, brother. That's what I'm talking about right there. Weird Heather saying LOL mercy subs, but that's the truth. That's what it is, right? Like if you like, for people that are like, you know, commenting just for the sake of you know, getting that sub, you know, you might get some of those mercy subs, you know, to where it's like, hey, you know, we'll just give them a sub just because, you know, hey, just because, right? But really, you know, you got to have the content that makes people want to subscribe. Yeah, and great. Pretty Hannah Create says, yeah, you can usually tell when a comment is genuine or not. Absolutely. And you can also tell, like, when people are like always wanting something, like you can, you know, it starts becoming obvious. Let's see here. Fear Dramix says, I think I go unnoticed. How do I fix this problem? Just participate. If you participate, then you will fix that problem. If you're talking about your content, then learning to get your content in front of people, learning how to get your content discovered, something that you need to do. As an example, one way that you can educate yourself is YouTube Creator Academy has an entire course on how discovery works and how to get your content discovered. Go read that. Let's see here. Half Blind Gamer says, Nick, thanks for the tips, mate, and advice. 4 more subs for 600. Congratulations on that. High five and fist bump to you, crossing another milestone. Let's see here. Tom Gillard says, dude, I was gaining subs just by being in this stream. Yeah, that can help too. Like sometimes, like when we're doing a stream and then we pull up a channel and the channel is something to where people in the live stream are like, wow, that looks like an interesting channel. In that case, that can also help too, because people will start going to the channel, you know, because they're like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that channel existed. But now I know that what's the content's on that channel. It's something I'm into. So I'll go and check it out. So when we're doing our normal channel reviews, that seems to happen a lot, actually. Oh, let's see here. Do I think that if you take part in small Fortnite tournaments that it'll help you grow? Long term, yeah. Because like the idea, right? Like if you're taking part in tournaments and things like that, and you're like basically what happens if you're taking part in tournaments is you are getting involved with the community around the content that you're making. Right. And if you start competing in all these tournaments and stuff, especially if you're good, if you start competing in all these tournaments, then you're going to start, getting to know people. They're obviously they watch Fortnite stuff or they play Fortnite. So I mean, it's a perfect fit for the people that you're trying to target if you're making Fortnite content. So being in that particular tournament or in multiple tournaments like that, absolutely, it's a great way to give yourself exposure and to hang out with other people that are into the same type of content. Let's see here. Patty says that she loves being introduced to channel through this live stream. Yeah, I do too. It's pretty cool. It gives me a chance to look and see what's going on with the people that are subscribed to the channel as well. For the people that are participating in the live streams. Stupid YouTuber says, "What is?" I love that name. It's so funny. It's so funny that I like feel weird saying it. You know what I mean? Like I feel almost like I'm insulting you when I say it, but it's your channel name, so I know I'm not. But stupid YouTuber says, "What is considered a good retention percentage?" I would go for at least 50. And then anything over that's definitely a bonus. The higher you get, the better off you're going to be. But I would go for at least 50% as a target on your average percentage. Now, of course, if you're making like 3-minute videos, it needs to be higher. But I'm talking about if you're making videos that are like 5 to 10 minutes long, go for at least 50%. Sometimes you'll hit it, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll go way over, sometimes you'll go under. But aim for at least 50%. Let's see here. I discovered cool channels reading the chat. Very cool. Okay, let's see here. We got a request for D there saying, "Can you make a video on how to use Photoshop on Android?" I know he has he's got some stuff on how to make thumbnails, on how to improve images and stuff like that. Tom saying he appreciates Nick being sub to him. That's cool. Hey Nick, thank you for answering my question, but I have another one. I used to ask for subs in the beginning of my videos, but I stopped because I felt like it was begging. I need help on this. Okay. Great question. I'm so glad you brought this up. This was actually brought up in the Tube Ritual group, and I was going to actually comment on that today as well, but I didn't, just because I was working on the whole live stream thing that we dealt with tonight. But Trinity Link, I do game in Grand Theft Auto, but I don't game a lot. Usually when I have the time to game, I'll usually hang out with my girlfriend or hang out with my brother or do something else to where, I spend time doing other stuff instead of the gaming. But yes, I love playing GTA when I get the chance, Call of Duty also. But yeah, to answer your question, so asking for subscribers in the beginning of your video can be effective, but it doesn't always work out. And this is what I was talking about earlier with the Real Estate Whisperer in terms of like getting access to, different channels and the stuff that works on some channels doesn't work on others and all that stuff, and why that's so important. Because like on your channel, depending on how you frame it, it may or may not be good to put in the beginning. And I know that doesn't help you much, but here's what I mean. So if on your channel, again, I don't know what type of content you make, but let's say that you do like design stuff, right? So like a good example would be your video opens up and then you tell people what it is that you're going to be showing them in the video. And then after that, you say, hey, on this channel, we do this particular type of content. If that's something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe or consider subscribing, however you want to frame it. But you say, this is the type of content that we make on this channel. We put out videos every Monday and Wednesday. If that's something that you would be interested in, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything, right? And basically what you're doing there is you're framing it up by saying, this is the value that I'm going to give you. This is the type of content that we make on this channel. So you're basically identifying that viewer as somebody that is in your target demographic, right? You're saying, hey, if you're into this type of content, this is the stuff I make. Right. So you're letting them know right away that they just came into one video, right? This is the type of content that I make. And basically you're saying that your entire channel is about that specific type of content. So that way you're framing it around the interest of the person that's watching your video. And then you put the call to action to subscribe. That is in no way begging for subscribers. Now, if your video starts and you're like, hey, today we're going to be talking about this. And then your video starts and you're like, hey, welcome to the show, comment, like, and subscribe. in that case, then yes, it is kind of weird because you're not framing it around anything. You're not telling people why they should like. You're not telling people why they should comment. You're not telling people why they should subscribe or what value it is that you're bringing to them in any way, shape, or form. You're just saying, you're just letting the words come out, right? So it all comes down to how you're framing it. And what I was saying before about, finding that, hey, in some channels this works better than others, is once you get the framing right, and once you're like, you know what, the way this is coming out, this actually doesn't feel weird at all, because what I'm doing is I'm introducing my channel and my content to a new viewer to encourage them to subscribe. I'm letting people know the type of content that I make, so that when they click on the thumbnail about this particular topic, I'm reinforcing that by letting them know that my entire channel is about stuff that they're interested in, right? So what you're doing there is you're taking the idea of begging and you're kind of flipping it around, turning it into something like, well, I'm just informing people of the type of content that I make, and I'm giving them the option to subscribe. No, now where this goes even farther is you give them the option there, and then you also give them the option at the end of the video as well. So you tell them at the front and you tell them at the end, so that for the people that are like, okay, yeah, this makes sense to me, this is the type of stuff I'm looking for, the quality looks nice, this all sounds good, so yeah, I'll go ahead and subscribe now. You catch those people at the beginning, and for the people that are going to watch your video all the way to the end, where you put that call to action at the end as well, then you also put it there, and then you catch them on the back end. So you have those two places to where you're inviting people to subscribe to your channel. You can even frame it that way. I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel. Like, however you want to say it, to where you're comfortable. But in my opinion, you're not begging in any way, shape, or form. You're informing the people that come to your channel what it is that you make, what it is that they can expect from you on a regular basis, because, you have your subscribers that are going to come in and they're going to get used to that, right? Like, everybody that watches my videos, they know, when my videos first start, hey, welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell. They know that that's going to happen in every video. And it's so expected, as a matter of fact, that I've had a couple of videos where I don't do that just for the sake of experimentation. And when I don't do it, people will say, hey, why didn't you say that in the beginning of your video? I noticed you didn't do this, and I noticed you didn't do this. And people will start noticing, because it's something that becomes so expected. But the way to think about it, though, is just frame it up. Value first, and then put the call to action to subscribe. And another place this comes in valuable, one second, because my throat. Another place this comes in valuable is, let's say that if you go into your audience retention reports, you'll see when people are watching your video, right? They've got like the bar, right? The video starts here and then it starts, like dropping off, whatever. So at the front of your video, when you have their attention, you're putting that call to action there. Now, of course, as people go and they start dropping off the video, that's less and less chances and less volume that you have to put that call to action in front of. So by the time you get to the end of your video, you're just at that, lower amount of people that, depending on how people are responding to your content, may be up to half of what it is that you're getting when you're at the very front of your video. So because of that, I would still add that to the front. Now, with all of that said, one thing that I would definitely keep in mind is that if people are watching your content and you have it all framed up and you start testing, right, on your specific channel, and you start testing and you start saying, okay, now that I got this down, I'm going to see the subscribes that are being driven from these videos that I'm putting this call to action at the front, and you group together, just so you kind of get rid of the actual topics as a variable. Group together like 20 videos, because you can do the grouping in your analytics. You can group together like 20 videos to where you put that call to action in the front, 20 videos to where you don't. Keep the view counts relatively similar when you're comparing them. In terms of, like, if you have one video to where you have that call to action, but it's got 500,000 views, and then every other video on the channel's got 5,000 views, then of course that 500,000 view video is going to skew the data a little bit because of so many people in there. So you'd have to either do the math on each one and say your view to subscribe ratio on each video and then work it out that way, or just compare videos that have similar view counts, but group. These are the ones that I said with a call to action at the front. These are the ones that I didn't, and then see how they compare against each other. And then if you find that, hey, no matter what, these ones that I'm putting the call to action in the front, these are always not performing well for me, in that case on your specific channel, then you have the data to work with, to where you say, hey, this isn't working for my particular channel. Either I can't frame it right, or the people that are watching my type of content, they're just not responding to that. Then you make that call. However, if you see it on the other side, where it's like, okay, yeah, these videos are generating more subscribers, then in that case, you have that data to where you can say, okay, I'm not begging clearly because this is working and people are responding to it in this way. So that's how you kind of figure that out. So you kind of frame it right. You got to make sure you do that first, and then you rely on the data to let you know how the audience is responding to it. But really, at the very top of that, though, because you have here that you feel like it's begging. Another thing that I really encourage you to do, and I know I've been on this question for a long time, so everybody bear with me. Hashtag patience, right? Hashtag patience. But one thing that I really want you to consider, and you have that in here, you say, because you feel like that it was begging, is it's really important that when you're putting up content on YouTube or when you're doing anything, that you're confident about what it is that you're creating, because the more confident about what it is that you're creating, the more value you think it's going to bring to other people. And you can lean on that instead of being like when you say you feel like you're begging, it's almost like you're like insecure about the content that you're putting out there, in terms of like, well, if I put this towards the front, then I feel like I'm begging, which means that I'm not really 100% confident on the content that I'm making. Whereas if you say, well, I'm making really good content, I know I'm making good content, and what I'm doing here at the beginning is I'm actually inviting people to subscribe by telling them the type of content that I make that I'm confident about. And by doing that, I'm going to take them through that process, and I'm going to be confident about it. And I know I'm not begging, I'm informing them, and lean on that side of things instead of leaning on the terminology of like begging, where it's like, you feel like you're kind of forcing it on people and that kind of stuff. Like, they're there to enjoy your content. You make good content. So stand on that, stand on the confidence of the content that you make and your ability to make that content, and lean on that when it comes to finding strength, so to speak, to look at some of this stuff that you need to do. Because some people are weird about asking people to comment. Some people are weird about asking people to like, or even asking people to subscribe at all. Not just in the beginning, but even at the end of the videos or during the videos, people are not confident with even asking people to do that stuff, because same thing, they feel like it's begging in somewhere, they feel like it's not right. But if you're really confident about the content that you're making, that you're making good stuff that's providing value to other people, then by all means, feel free to inform people on the type of content that you're making and let them know they're in the right place. Hey, you're in the right place. I'm making the type of content that you like. This is the right place. Make sure you subscribe. Right? A little long-winded, my apologies, but that happens sometimes. Welcome to Niven Live. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll down the page here. All right. Okay, Drew Showalter Vlog says, Nick, why is everyone going crazy about YouTube hashtags? What good does it do? Do I use it? My tags, title, description, etc. So when it comes to YouTube tags, Drunk on Life, Memphis, nice. When it comes to, not YouTube tags, I'm sorry, YouTube hashtags, the reason everybody's freaking out about YouTube hashtags is because it's another opportunity for search discovery. So like, let's say that that you make a particular type of content. Like, let's say that you're a gamer and you do Fortnite as an example. Then if you have a gaming channel on Fortnite and you are using a Fortnite hashtag, then if somebody clicks on that Fortnite hashtag, then they'll see, okay, well, hey, these are the top videos for the Fortnite hashtag that people are responding to the most. And then these other videos here are more recent videos on Fortnite. So I'm going to go check them out. Right. So it basically just gives you that one additional chance of discovery. Smoking Pot with Steve says, if your content is great, they will see the unsubscribe button. Absolutely. In most cases, yes. But it also comes down to a lot of things, like maybe you have great content, but maybe, like people just get distracted because it's YouTube and they just don't, like your particular audience, let's say, doesn't end up watching 100% of the video all the time. And because of that, that's where having, like the calls to action, the different places comes in really valuable, because most channels, people don't watch 100% of the video or even 90% of the video. So because of that, that's why it's important to put that stuff in other places, because most people don't get all the way to the end. Let's see here. Interesting. So Doug says, I found if you make your hashtag too long, it does not display above the title. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't found that one. I haven't found that one yet. I haven't made a long hashtag. That's awesome to know. Thank you, Doug. Let's see here. Okay, what music? The Toxic 3 says, Nick, what should music channels do to get more engagement and get more views and subscribers? To get more engagement, ask the community what it is that they want you to make. Ask the community what songs they want you to sing. Ask your community for input. Hop on a live stream. Say, hey, I'm working on this song right now. This is where I'm at so far. What do you think? Right? Involve your community in the music that you're creating. Let's see here. Some of my hashtags are including the #. Yeah, that's what the hashtags are. Is the is that #, and then whatever word it is that you say. Let's see here. Penny Pincher says, can I stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time with Streamlabs? To my understanding, Penny Pincher, it's against both outlets' terms of service to do that. Just as a heads up to you. But to my understanding, no, Streamlabs does not allow you to do that, but there are services like restream.io. There's also like switcher.live, I think it is, that can also help you multicast. Paint and Sound says give to receive, give to give. Let's see here. Hey, Nick, thanks for coming back for the live stream after the tech problems. You are a trooper, says Rob Gleason. I'm trying. It's definitely not the normal stream for sure. I miss having D here right across from me, which would be awkward because he'd be sitting in a wall if he was right across from me. But yeah, it's awkward not having D here for the live stream. But yeah, I'm glad that I was at least able to come on here for a little bit, hanging out. Let's see here. Joe Doe says, thanks Nick for everything that you do. My pleasure. Glad that you're finding value here. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Okay, so Grabster says, quick tip for everyone using hashtags. If your hashtags don't get right for some reason, make sure you remove emojis from the description. Interesting. Nice little tip there. Let's see here. Let me scroll down here. Yeah, hashtags weird, Heather. They just started being a thing on YouTube. I mean, technically, you've been able to search them for a long time to where if you just search for the hashtag, then stuff would come up. But in terms of it being something you could actually click on and then you get more information on it, that's a fairly new thing. Creative Vlog says, hey, Nick, does going live help your channel? And do you think it's the way forward as my channel subs have been dropping? Creative Vlogs, if you can get a lot of people into your live stream and you can keep them there, then yeah, it can be great because you get watch time. You can get watch time from it in terms of growing the channel, right? But in addition to that, you also get to create that initial response to people, which is also really cool. So like, as an example, like right now, you just asked me that question and I get to answer it like right here live. So, just that alone is like, oh, okay, well, he's answering my questions about YouTube. So that tells me that if I have something I want to know about YouTube, I should go hop in one of Nick's stream and then I can actually get my question answered in real time. Right. So things like that is really cool because like somebody that's just in this chat right now, hashtag new if you're new and you've never been in my chat before or in my live stream before. But basically, like for new people, as an example, Creative Vlogs, for new people that are watching the stream right now that have never been in the stream before, like for them, they're seeing this and they're like, who is this guy? What's he doing? Why does he have a stormtrooper back there and a play button? Like, what's going on with these lights? Like, what's going on here? But then even for them, right, they came in from the live stream because the live stream ends up being, promoted somewhere by YouTube. And then they come into the live stream and same exact thing applies. It's like, hey, this person's interacting with their community. They're answering YouTube questions. There's value here. So because of that, I'm going to subscribe to the channel. Now, the funny thing with that is I actually lose more subscribers than I gain from my live streams. But it's okay with me because I just like hanging out. But I actually lose more subscribers in my particular case on my live streams than I gain. So I typically lose anywhere from 30 to like 85. I'm creeping towards 90 live subscribers per live stream, which is kind of funny. Considering, what it is that we do in the live streams, but it's how it is. Soapy Oaks Farm says, I would like to live stream, but I don't have the best ISP. So I don't think the quality would be very good. Yeah. So in that case, definitely, if you have low internet speeds, definitely try to stream through at like a 1280 by 720, so that you can make sure that you are, pushing through something that has at least a better chance. Another thing that you can do is, of course, you can stream on your phone directly through the YouTube app, and you can do like I'm doing right now. Like the quality isn't the best, as you can see, but it gets it done, and YouTube is optimizing everything for their platform. So you can literally stream from inside of YouTube itself. Also, really easy to do, really easy to set up. Like this was super simple to set up. So you can definitely stream directly from here, and then everything's going to be optimized. Like I had no settings in here. Like I wasn't able to set, maybe I might have been able to somewhere, but I didn't see it as I was setting it up because I was just trying to hurry up and get in here. But you know, I might have been able to set like an image quality somewhere or whatever, but everything was just handled pretty much automatic. This is my first time using this particular thing. I actually used it at the studio too, but let's see here. In China, is there such a thing as a summer season slump? It seems other people in my niche might have gone home for the holiday, says Hello, Uncle Foreigner. I'm not sure in China. My brother's girlfriend is Chinese. If we were on our normal live stream to where D was sitting across from me in that case, then yes, he would be able to answer that question for you. But I personally, I don't know if there's a summer season or anything like that in inside of China. Let's see here. Car Galaxy Studio says, hey, Nick, not a lot of content shows up in the Nimminati tag. Absolutely. That's the idea for now, right? So hopefully I can own that tag with every video that goes up. Oh, no, I just exposed my plan. Yeah, but hopefully I can own that eventually to where when somebody clicks on that, then it'll just show primarily my stuff. I know other people will definitely hop in on that, but for the most part, at least for the top videos, I wanted to show my stuff for that hashtag. Zaggy DK says, when did I change to the Shure? I still have the Rode over here, but I changed to this when I went to VidCon, because I just wanted to test it out. You know, I've heard great things about it, so I wanted to test it out and see what it was like. But I dig it. I think it's cool. I think it sounds good. Let me know what you think in the chat in the chat right now if you think it sounds okay. Let's see here. Freddie Beauville says, is a webcam a key thing for streaming and will it help subs? So a webcam, you definitely need a webcam of some kind if you're going to be streaming, unless you're going to be streaming your actual computer desktop. You can use Streamlabs OBS to do that. But yeah, webcam is great. You can get this particular webcam by itself is like, I think this costs like 70 or 80 bucks back in the States. I got it here, so it was like 100 and something. But in the States, you can get these. It's a Logitech C922, really low price cam, but it's a decent quality, as you can see here. It's not the best quality you can get, but it's decent. I mean, it's killer for the price tag. So yeah. Let's see here. What's different about the software in this stream than the other stream? You use some other software or hardware. So for this stream, I'm using if you go to your YouTube account right now, if you're in your YouTube account, you're going to go at the very top bar of your YouTube page. You're going to see like a little thing that you can click on to where you would go normally upload a video, where you can click on that. It's like a little camera with a plus sign on it. You click on that and then you have the option to go live. And then what it does is it just pulls your camera and your mic and all that stuff in directly through YouTube with no like anything. So it's super easy. It's just like it works on a phone, except it's on the computer instead. Let's see here. Sound in the City says that Streamlabs has a great setup for Twitch with templates. Yeah, their templates are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Crafts World says, how do you earn money? I actually have a video about that, Crafts World, that shows the different ways that I currently own money, the ways that I currently earn money, and some other things that I'm working on for that as well. All the different ways that I do it. Pretty Hannah Crate says, I have a good clean background for your thumbnail. Bold 3 to 5 word text and maybe a picture of yourself or the DIY project you're making, etc. Great tip. Let's see here. Talking to each other, use some other software usually sounds great. Okay, good. What's the best app for making Troom rants where you have the video in your video and can edit some commentary and stuff? Yeah, you can use Streamlabs for that also, to where you can actually like watch your own stuff through your desktop display, and then you'd have like a little camera of you or like a little square of you like down in a corner, down like a little square down here in the corner somewhere. Path to Happiness asking a great question. Hey, Nick, does text in the thumbnails have an influence on search? It's not that the text in the thumbnails per se has influence in the search. It's how people are responding to your thumbnail. So it's not that like, hey, if I use text in my thumbnails, I'm going to get better results in search. Is using text in my thumbnails helping people understand what's going on in my video. Therefore, it's causing them to click on my thumbnail more. That's what matters. So some channels, depending on the type of content that you make, some channels will find that not using text, if you know how to use imagery correctly, then some people will find that not using any text in their thumbnails at all will get you better results than using text. Other channels, if they don't use text, they can't get any results at all. So, you definitely have to test it and see which one works best. I recommend, of course, TubeBuddy to A/B test your thumbnails for that for sure, so that you can, basically run a bunch of comparisons on your thumbnails to see which one works better for you, because that's really what it comes down to. But here's my recommendation is, if you are awesome at using imagery to be able to illustrate your story, to actually like illustrate what's happening in the video, in that case, then yes, you can definitely try just using the imagery by itself. But if you're not really good at that yet, then what I would recommend is, I would recommend on like learning how to do that. But while you're learning how to do it, putting supportive text on the thumbnail so that you can give people insight into what the video is about through the text that you have in your thumbnail. Let's see here. ZaggyDK, thanks for the 50, dropping coffee monies. That's what I'm talking about right there. Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. Let's see here. As I scroll down the page, just going to do a big scroll here. Crafts World saying, how do they send money? Yeah, so depending on what it is that you're doing to generate money is how they're going to send it. So, like affiliates will send it through a bank wire, through PayPal. YouTube will send it through a bank wire. I mean, it just depends on what you have set up. ZaggyDK saying, I really couldn't live without my TubeBuddy. Absolutely. I'm the same way. Love it. Let's see here. Tyler Ward saying you should do a TubeBuddy Pro giveaway. TubeBuddy actually does those from time to time. I really recommend that you follow TubeBuddy on Twitter, because they do that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Civic Nadez saying TubeBuddy is so good and helpful. Absolutely, it is. Let's see here. Okay, so Gary Talks MH says, hey, Nick, why is the views on YouTube Video Manager different than the YouTube homepage? It's just because of the caching, right? Because they're bouncing the stuff all around, like CDNs, content delivery networks, like all over the planet. So it just depends on, where you happen to be looking at it at what time, and all of that stuff on, like they don't always sync up. Eventually they will. But, like when you publish videos and they're being seen in all these different places, it can be drastically different just based on, like where everything is being cached or where it's being served from. Let's see here. Grabs are saying Firefox is crashing. Send help. I think the help comes in the form of Google Chrome. Boom, ba-doom, ba. Let's see here. Midnight Madness 4x4 says, hey, Nick, if you got time, tell them about Keyword Everywhere tool. It's very useful. Yeah, Keywords Everywhere is awesome. Definitely recommend. Dr. Sten also saying loves TubeBuddy. Keywords Everywhere is great because it gives you like a general idea of the interest of a particular topic in terms of search. Definitely recommend. It's a free browser plugin called Keywords Everywhere. Highly recommend that. Yes. Weird Heather saying TubeBuddy has some good videos from different YouTubers. If you're not already subscribed, yeah, they have a ton of really helpful educational content over there. I personally stream on TubeBuddy, on the TubeBuddy channel once a month, the first Wednesday actually of every month. So I'll be streaming there soon. So make sure if you're not already that you're subscribed to the TubeBuddy channel so that you can be there for that live stream as well. But yeah, they've got a handful of streamers that stream over there every month, and some really good information comes out of those live streams. Let's see here. We got Texas. Nice. Are you Vsauce? No, but I wish I had a nickel for every person that told me that I was Vsauce, or that I look like Vsauce. Dr. Sten says, if you don't have TubeBuddy, get it. It is free. And then, of course, there are also paid versions. Absolutely. There's a link to TubeBuddy down in the description below. And full disclosure, TubeBuddy is also a sponsor of the live stream. Typically, you can see that clearly and obviously when you see the studio that we normally stream in. But for now, this is what I got. And this. There we go. Okay. Now, as I will keep scrolling down here. Yeah, and a nickel for everybody that begged for a channel review, Pegasus Angel. Yeah, absolutely. Never have to work again if I had a nickel for everyone that begged for a review. Let's see here. Country Southern Style Cooking says signed up for TubeBuddy yesterday. Awesome to hear. You will love it. Path to Happiness says, guys, I got to go. Thanks so much for this. Is a great stream. You guys are all awesome. Thanks, Nick Nimmin. Yeah, my pleasure. Glad you enjoyed the stream. And before you go, remember to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't yet. And if you're enjoying this live stream so far, make sure you also give it a thumbs up, share it with a YouTuber buddy so they can come in and enjoy this as well. Let's see here. 30-day review says, Nick, when will you be doing videos for users that are a bit more advanced? So here's the thing, 30-day reviews. So I'm thinking of putting those behind a thing in Patreon. And I've been brainstorming on this for a while because like when I put out videos that have more advanced stuff in them, like for example, like building the watch time trap, like that one's a little bit more advanced, and those videos just don't perform as well because people are looking for like, I'm not saying you are, but a lot of the people that are watching my channel, they're looking for like quick fixes, and they're looking for that button. Hey, what button do I press to make everything blow up all of a sudden? And the stuff that takes more like thought and more effort and that kind of stuff that you guys are willing to put in the work for, like that information is stuff that typically doesn't perform well on my channel because it's not what the majority of the people on the channel are looking for. So because of that, I'm thinking about putting it on putting that kind of information on Patreon. I've actually got some of that on Patreon also, but I try to sprinkle some of it in because like the problem that I have is there's the content that a majority of the people want, and then there's the content that people need to make, there's content that people need to know. So I try to mix it up to where it's like, okay, I'm going to make this video on the stuff that people are wanting, but I'm also going to mix in some stuff that they need to know to make sure that the information gets out there. Let's see here. Tyler Ward, I do not have that video, but the best thing you can do in that case is you can lean on the direction that your channel is heading. So if your channel is performing well, but it's still small, lean on the idea that it's performing well and actually build those projections of your channel growth into any proposal that you send to a potential sponsor. Let's see here. YouTube Strikes is basically Craftsworld is asking, what is YouTube Strikes? Craftsworld. So I recommend that you actually just go through the YouTube Creator Academy because like all the stuff that you're asking here, like what is YouTube Strikes, for example? Like this is all stuff that will get explained to you in the YouTube Academy. Like it's like I can tell that you're new. So I really recommend that you go through the YouTube Creator Academy just so you can get a lot because like a lot of the questions that you're asking are things that are addressed there. So I would definitely go through that. But to let you know, community strikes, you have community guideline strikes and then you have copyright strikes. Community guideline strikes are basically when you violate terms of service in some way. And then the copyright strikes are when you violate copyright law in some way. Or when somebody does a copyright strike against you because you use content you weren't allowed to use. The Toxic 3 says, do I support clickbaiting? So there's two ways to look at clickbaiting. Clickbaiting is making titles and thumbnails that people respond to. That some people look at that as clickbait, but in reality, that's just making stuff that people respond to. And then there's misleading people. If you're misleading people, no, I do not support that in any way, shape, or form. And YouTube doesn't either. And your video is not going to live long on the platform in terms of like YouTube showing it to people if people aren't responding to it. So if you're promising this, but you're not delivering that, then people are going to watch your video for a real short amount of time and they're going to leave. But if you're making content that are making thumbnails and titles that are interesting, that they're intriguing to people and they make people want to click on them, support that all the way around as long as you deliver on what it is that you're saying in your thumbnail. As long as you deliver in that in your video content, totally support it 100%. Eddie Jowd, I hope I'm saying that right, says, when is the right time to do merch and swag? I would go ahead and just build that in so that as your channel grows, like you have all these videos that you're mentioning in. Like, I think that's one thing, a mistake that a lot of YouTubers make is they wait and they have this thing in their mind about like, hey, I need to be a certain size before I start before I start promoting anything, before I start, doing merch or anything like that. But in reality, if you're waiting and you're putting out all of this content, you have this entire backlog of content that you've made that is not working for you in any way in terms of like things that you could possibly sell, then in that case, you've just created an entire library of stuff that might have gotten you views and subscribers. But in terms of turning this into something that you can do long term or maybe even full time, those videos aren't working on your behalf. Whereas if you build some of that stuff in now, even though your channel might be small, if you go ahead and start offering merch, don't be sleazy about it and trying to sell people on merch every video that you make, but mentioning it is definitely a thing. Wearing it, definitely a thing, so that it brings awareness to the merch. But as your channel grows, what you're doing is you're creating this entire backlog of videos that are working to sell your merch for you. So because of that, I would start selling merch right away, if you can. So you can do that through Teespring. You can do that through Streamlabs as well. I actually just made a video recently on an easy way to set up a merch store through Streamlabs. I definitely recommend that you go and watch that. You can also get in with like Amazon merch as well. You can go with like Spreadshirt or something like that. But yeah, I would definitely get on merch if you have the skills to create or the ability to create the actual designs themselves. Then yeah, I would definitely get on it. Let's see here. The Toxic 3 says, hey, Nick, how many subscribers should a channel have to attain a solid fan base? So in terms of subscriber count, I mean, 10 subscribers is a solid fan base, right? If you have 10 people, let's say that you have 50 subscribers, but 10 of those subscribers come in and they watch all of your, like all the videos that you put out, then you have a solid base, in my opinion. Again, this is all, that whole expectation thing that I was talking about before. Like that's that's part of this whole thing, right? Like if I said, hey, you should have like 1,000, then basically everybody under 1,000 is going to say, oh, well, I don't have 1,000 yet, so I don't have a solid fan base. But that's not true. If you have 10 people that are continually coming in and watching your content, then you have a solid fan base. It might be a small fan base, but it's a solid fan base, right? And that's what everything builds from. Let's see here. So Zaggy DK says that I started doing merch with around 1,000 subscribers. Never thought it would sell anything, but little did I know that people actually found it and started to use it, all because I gave them the option. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about right there. Let's see here. Smoking Pot with Steve says, how do I find out what days and time people watch my videos? You find that out by looking in your real-time analytics. So if you go into your real-time analytics, you'll see exactly when people are coming in and watching your stuff. You can also just look in your analytics in general. But if you pay really close attention to your real-time stats, that's going to tell you, like, you can literally watch it go like this, right? So yeah, you'll definitely want to look in your real-time stats for that. Let's see here. Let's see here. Zaggy DK says, I actually, for the first time ever, met one of my subscribers that I didn't know before starting YouTube yesterday. Awkward. How do you deal with that, Nick? Yeah. So I think it's interesting. Like that's funny. So Zaggy DK says, I actually, for the first time ever, met one of my subscribers that I didn't know before starting YouTube yesterday. He said it was awkward. How do you deal with that, Nick? So I think it's awesome. I think it's cool when people that I don't know from anywhere else, that they've only seen me on YouTube, when I get to meet them. I think it's cool. I dig it. And I've had a couple of times. I had in the Philippines once, I had somebody recognize me walking through a mall there. And he was like, hey, do you make videos for YouTube? And I'm like, yeah. And then, he said that he watched my channel. I got recognized here locally 2 times. Anytime I've been back to the States outside of being at the actual events, I've never been recognized there. But I've been recognized locally here by 2 people as well. They were foreigners that came to Thailand, but they were people that only knew me from my YouTube channel, which is kind of interesting. But it was cool, cool experience. Let's see here. Hashad Kara says, hey, missing D. Absolutely. I am missing D as well. Let's see here. 70 subbers. I have at least 10 solid fans, super happy, says Miriam Havard. Yeah, so Miriam Havard says, yes, because I have 73 subs, but I know I have at least 10 solid fans. I'm so happy. Yeah, it's cool. Like it's cool for all of us, right? It's cool just having people, like if it's 10 people or if it's 100 people or, 500,000 people, like whatever that number is, like just knowing that you have some people, whoever they are, that enjoy your content, such an awesome thing, because it lets you know that, hey, I'm putting this stuff out there and it's not just like going into a void of some kind. It's like people are actually watching this and enjoying the content. It's cool. Let's see here. Actually found out about that. Talking to each other. Hey, Nick, how do you get the motivation to keep moving forward when you start seeing your subscriber count not increasing anymore? Candy Inspector. So for me personally, like right now, and basically like on my particular channel, like it'll go up for a while and then it'll come down and then it'll go up and then it'll come down and then it'll go up. So like on average, I'm getting between like 15 and 18,000 subscribers per month. And when it starts going down to closer to the 15 mark, like it is right now, then what I will personally do is I'll start saying, okay, well, I know that that if I make videos that are X, Y, Z, that typically those videos tend to generate subscribers more than other videos. So I need to put out some of those videos now and kind of move them around in the content schedule instead of waiting to put those videos out for the sake of putting out other videos. So that's what I do. But in terms of like if it just topped out and let's say that I wasn't gaining subscribers, then in that particular case, then what I would do is I would say, okay, well, when I was gaining subscribers, what was I doing versus what is it that I'm doing now? So any channels that I've worked with in the past, like with them, same exact thing. Like if they've like topped out, then I would say, okay, well, what is it that they were doing then that they're not doing now? A lot of it will typically come down to just them connecting with the audience better, to where it was like, hey, they started doing their channel and they like really cared, and then they just stopped caring because they got busy or because their channel got big and they started getting a big head or whatever it happened to be. And then because of that, they kind of disconnected themselves from their audience. And then they go and they start, kind of getting more humble and reconnecting with your audience again. And then that can also help fix things. But basically it comes down to the videos that you make and all that. So what I would do if I was you, Candy Inspector, is I would say, okay, what videos was I making that drove subscribers? And what videos am I making now that are not driving subscribers? And I would start comparing the two and see and look for, differences. What is different between those two camps of content, and go into your subscribers and your analytics and say, what videos of mine now are driving subscribers now? And if those are driving subscribers now, then I should make more of those types of videos to kind of restart that engine, so to speak. Let's see. Rob Gleason, that's going to be a lot of work. Hey, Nick, is making videos in advance and scheduling them a good strategy to keep content rolling? For example, I uploaded in Tuesdays and have Thursdays, so I film in advance to have videos ready. Yeah, it's a really good idea to have videos ready, Speedy. So to have videos to put a bunch of videos inside of YouTube so that you can be ahead, so you don't have all that weight in your brain in terms of like, oh God, I got to make content. Yeah, that's a really good thing to do. So some people, and I haven't tested this personally, and I always disclose that if I haven't. I haven't tested this personally, but some people have said that if you don't schedule it, but you actually hit the publish button, that you get that you might get like a better result or whatever. But the um, uh, like I haven't tested that personally, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention just so you can test that yourself, just in case. Drunk on Life says, hey, Nick, as a gaming channel, I was curious, how do you tackle SEO for a Let's Play series when the same keywords are strung across many videos? Try to find something specific. So if you're doing Let's Plays, then you might have to alter the content that you're making so that you can try to rank your videos for keywords. So like if you're just playing, like instead of it being like a, Fortnite Let's Play as an example, then you would say like a specific thing that you're doing in that game that people would be looking for. So you would say, okay, in this particular game, I'm going to show people how to beat this particular level because people are searching for how to beat this particular level. Then that is how you would try to rank and search for those videos. Let's see here. Do you think it's a good idea to start 2 or 3 channels with different content in order to find your niche? Rob, yes, I do. Like if there's like, here's what I recommend. Yes, you can start 2 or 3 channels with different content in order to find your niche, or you can focus all of that effort that you would be uploading to 2 or 3 channels on something that you really, really enjoy. Because on the content that you really, really enjoy, most likely, because this is something you're going to be doing for a long time, right? So because of that, it's really important to make content that you know that you're going to be able to make for a long time. So with that, I would really recommend thinking about, do I want to divide my content up so that I can do, into 2 or 3 channels so that I can see which one performs best and then go from there, which is good. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good way to go. Or is it better for me to take my content and basically focus all of my efforts into making one type of content that I particularly like myself, And that decision can also be made on, I'm going to look at the other channels and these different niches that I'm interested in and see, what the expectations are, see who my competition is, see how well their content is, or see how good their content is. Because let's say that you're going into the tech space, for example. Let's say that you're like, hey, I'm going to start going into the tech space. In that case, out of the gate, well, I gotta come with my game face on, because these tech people do not play, right? Like they make serious, high quality, great looking and sounding content. So if I'm going to come into the tech space, I need to make sure that I have my A game on. So you have to make those decisions as well, saying, well, am I going to do 3 channels to where one's like tech, one's like, I don't know, grooming, and one's like style, or like, whatever it is you're going to do. But just think about researching the different niches to make sure that you are comfortable competing in that space. And 2, just make sure that if you are going to do 2 or 3 different channels, make sure that your time is going to be better spent there instead of putting all of that effort into one channel. Because eventually you're going to have to make a decision on, if I am doing these 3 channels and one channel starts doing really well, you're going to have to make a decision to walk away from the other 2, to where you've put all of this time into making videos on those 2 channels. And it might be a year down the road or 2 years down the road until you have to make that decision, because everything's just kind of going along at the same pace. And then when it's time to make that decision, you've created an entire library on 2 different channels that you're going to have to make that call to walk away from, so that you can focus all of your efforts on the one that's really starting to grow. Thanks, Toxic 3. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll down the thing here. Yes. Pretty Hannah Create says, have you heard about them adding YouTube Premiere soon? Yes, I'm actually looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. Is there any way to leverage an old video that went viral, but that is not in my niche? Absolutely, Jesse. What I would do in that case is I would add cards to it. I'd look for like a nice solid drop-off point to where the audience left. And if it's still getting traffic, to where it's like, hey, this is like sending people to my channel like crazy, then I would definitely pin a comment that sends them to your channel page, or that sends them to another video that's sort of loosely related. If you don't have a video like that, I would try to make a video that would marry that content that's not in your niche to the content that your niche is about. In your case, your travel stuff. So what I would do in that case is I would say, okay, well, I've got this old video that's not my niche. It's driving me a ton of traffic, but I need to get some of these people siphoned off into my channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another piece of content that's kind of like a halfway in between, so that I can pin that in my comment. I can pin that as a card, and I can put that in the end screen to try to drive people from this video over to the new content, or over to the current stuff, I should say. Let's see here. Gary Talk says, hey, Nick, how do you know what to categorize your videos as when there are a lot of informational videos, but I do vlogs in the same topics? Would it be under people and vlogs or informational? Me personally, in that case, if I was doing informational content, but I was doing it vlog style, I would still put it under informational. Let's see here. Nick, any idea how to make a 360 video? Matter of fact, I do. I've got an Insta 360 laying around here somewhere. That is pretty awesome, actually. I think it's in the other room. I'm looking for it. Don't see it. So yeah, it's in the other room. But yeah, the Insta 360 is awesome. Let's see here. Techers Twin says, what is the number one tip that you would give a small channel to grow? The number one tip that I would give you as a small channel to grow would be to educate yourself. Educate yourself on how the platform that you're putting videos on works. Educate yourself on how to connect with an audience. Go through the entire YouTube Creator Academy. Consume as much content as you possibly can, videos, written format, podcasts, everything on things that people are doing to get results on YouTube. Because if this is something that you're wanting to do seriously and you're wanting to grow seriously, one, it's going to take a lot of time and effort. And because of that, educating yourself to make sure that your time and effort is used properly is critical to making sure that your channel does well. So educate yourself. That's my number one tip. Educate yourself. There's not a magic button. There's no such thing as do this and then you're definitely going to blow up. That doesn't exist. It's a bunch of different things that you have to do in order to get results. And then those results will dictate how well or how fast you blow up. But educating yourself on how all of that stuff works is my biggest tip that I have for you. And that also depends. I mean, that's on or not, it doesn't depend. I mean, on educating yourself, there's more to that. Like, it's educating yourself on YouTube, it's educating yourself on editing videos, educating yourself on how to process audio, educating yourself on how to do graphics so that you can make thumbnails people respond to, educating yourself on presenting, educating yourself, like watching video or channels like Charisma on Command as an example. Consume a lot of like self-improvement content, a lot of entrepreneurial content, because all of that stuff, even though you may or may not know it right now, all of that stuff directly applies to what it is that you're doing here on YouTube. So consuming that type of content as well, to make sure that you stay focused and on track with what it is that you're doing, and that you're trying to, do it in the right way in terms of making sure that you are monetizing your content and things like that, so that you can actually turn this into something that you can turn into a business potentially, things like that. Like, I would educate yourself. That's my number one tip, in every way that you can, every aspect of creating content, every aspect of creating content for the internet, every aspect of working online, all of that. I would educate myself on all of that, because it all applies. Sergeant Sill says, you are killing it, man. Beast mode. Thank you, Sergeant Sill. I appreciate it. Let's see here. In Soccer 7 says, I have a question. Is clickbait important, or do they help you to make views? Here's the thing. Like I said a minute ago, because I answered this one a little bit ago. If you're doing clickbait and it's misleading, then it's not going to work. If you're doing clickbait and you're delivering on the titles, and you're delivering on what's going on in the thumbnails and all that stuff, then it'll work. Let's see here. Gary Talks MH says, YouTube is literally a full-time job, but I love it even though my fiance doesn't understand it. Yeah, so it definitely is. Like, like if you're putting out content on a regular basis and you're interacting with your community a lot and you're doing other things around the channel that, will help prop the channel up long term, it definitely, I mean, there's a lot of time that goes into making content. That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important to enjoy the type of content that you're making, because you're going to be consuming information about it. You're going to be making content about it. You're going to be constantly educating yourself on the particular topic that you talk about. I mean, it's crazy all the time that goes into it. Let's see here. Gladiator says, is YouTube a passion or a business? Yes, is the answer to that question. It's both. Let's see here. Tecker Twin says, thanks for the answer. My pleasure. Let's Play RC says, it's a great tip, Nick. No matter what skills you have, YouTube is a whole new beast, thousands of skills needed, and improve your skills you already have. Absolutely. Creepy Dan says, hey, Nick, how did you embrace the grind? Little backstory. I actually got burned out because I went through transitions with this stuff just like everybody else does. Like people look at my channel now and they'll be like, oh, he's got like 230 something thousand subscribers. He's got a lot of subscribers on his channel and all that stuff. But they don't look at the part about, like I started the channel and then I left this channel. And when I started this channel, I was doing a graphic design business with my brother. And, so I was doing like YouTube at the same time I was doing the graphic design business, which, like we were just talking about, which was basically like having 2 full-time jobs. And I was running them side by side. And then I stopped. I wasn't even taking YouTube seriously at the time in terms of like uploading all the time. I was just doing like 1 video a week. And then I stopped uploading completely to work on another channel. And then I got so into YouTube and so into like what's going on here that I actually like started like losing customers on the design business and all that stuff. And I just started focusing everything on YouTube and pretty much just started not showing up for the design stuff. And because of that, it started making that difficult. And I just started focusing everything on YouTube and I started uploading content like crazy on the other channel that I was working on. And I ended up burning myself out to where I didn't embrace the grind. I didn't approach it appropriately, and it caused me to burn out. And because of that, I actually ended up saying, okay, well, I'm going to stop going on this channel and I'm going to come over to this channel so that, I can make videos that are faster to make, because the other videos weren't fast to make. And I was like, I'm going to come over to this channel because I'm going to make videos that are faster to make. And then I did that. And then I said, okay, well, since I'm going to start uploading this channel, let's put together like a plan. Let's turn this into something, because my graphic design business is going in the toilet. I need an exit plan. So I said, okay, I literally sat down. I've got it sitting over there, but I literally sat down and I just built out a map. And I said, okay, this is what I'm going to try to accomplish. This is the audience I'm going to try to reach. And I'm going to create this asset. I'm going to do this. I'm going to create this. I'm going to make this. I'm going to send people here. I'm going to send people here. I'm going to do this, that, and other thing. And I basically built out a roadmap, essentially a plan. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to, All Our Questions is the name of the other channel. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to, focus everything here so that, as the design business is going down, this as long as everything works out, that it will kind of tip everything back up, so to speak. And or it'll basically catch it where that one's going down. And luckily, it ended up working out to where it's exactly what had happened. Like the money was coming down from this one, but right as that was going down, this one started coming up, and it literally went like this, and then just shot up to where it's doing way better than the graphic design stuff ever did. So yeah, in terms of embracing the grind, like how I started embracing the grind once I actually embraced it instead of just burning myself out by doing is I made a plan, and I said, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I need to have in order to make that happen. This is what I need to create. And then I just started working that plan, and that was my version of embracing the grind. In addition to that, in addition to the actual plan, I also dedicated to making sure that this is a priority. So like with everything else that happens, I have to make sure that I'm uploading content on a regular basis, because that's kind of that's the conduit, so to speak, for everything else. You have to put that content out there. You have to put those videos out there, because that's where everything else comes in from, right? So so in terms of embracing the grind, it really came down to a plan and a commitment, and that was it. Let's see here. Zaggy DK saying, hey, I got more subscribers than Nick's other channel. Yeah, I'm actually trying to work a relaunch of that other channel into my workflow. I have another project that I'm working on that I need to complete first. And once that project is completed, then I'm most likely going to launch the All Our Questions channel again. And then you guys will get to see what I do with an educational type channel. Let's see here. What content to use to make your channel grow, says Gladiator. So the content that you need to make, Gladiator, to make your channel grow is you need to go into your analytics, look at your subscribers. And then when you look at your, when you click on the subscribe, then you're going to go down, you're going to see watch page, YouTube watch page. Click on that. That's going to show you which videos are converting people into subscribers at the highest rate. And then you want to make more of those. Let's see here. Jumpy PW says, just have a daily routine if you want to be on the grind and keep daily content going. I respect that it takes a lot of time to edit videos. Yeah. Yeah, it does. And like that grind part of what's happening here, like all of that stuff, like it comes from, it comes from creating the content, but it also comes from like educating yourself and like trying to stay on top of everything and to make sure that you're, like, especially in my case, like on this channel now, since it like, since it had that quick evolution into like a YouTube tips channel, which wasn't even the intention, but that's how it like turned out. So because of that, like my responsibility, the way that I look at it is like my responsibility, like I have to stay on top of the information for, like what's working, what's current, what's old information that used to work, but it doesn't work anymore. Like I have to stay on top of that stuff, because I'm giving other people advice on what they're doing with their channels. So because of that, like that's an addition to my grind. Is in addition to what I'm doing on my channel, I have to make sure that I'm educating myself enough on a regular basis and staying on the curve enough to where the information that I'm sharing with you is also current and relevant, and it works for what's happening now on the platform. Instead of, just sharing like old regurgitated information, like I gotta like stay on it. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Dr. Stan says that would be great. There's not enough information on adult education channels, and looking at comments, people really want to know about it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like some cool stuff over there, man. Like I really enjoyed that channel. It was cool. I loved making that content. But it just burned out, like it was doing the design stuff and then doing YouTube at the same time, and like literally like no time. So it was like wake up, start, and then like don't stop until I go to bed. So just in terms of like personal time and headspace and all that stuff, like it just didn't exist. And it burned me out. Let's see here. Okay, let me scroll down here. Let's see. What do we got? Hey, Nick, what does branding your thumbnails do good for you, help you? And could you please make a video on how to brand your thumbnails? So Drew Showalter Vlogs, branding your thumbnails does a couple of things for you. One, it helps everything look more professional. So let's say that in the future or now, let's say that you are contacting people that you are wanting to sponsor your channel, sponsor videos, things like that. You're wanting to collaborate with other people. When they land on your channel page and you have that professional presentation to where it's like, wow, this is like a serious channel, then your chances of people collaborating, high level people collaborating with you, increase. Your chances of people working with you in terms of sponsorships increase, because it shows non-verbally, it shows that you know how to present stuff, that you understand the importance of making things presentable, right? And then from there, branding your thumbnails also helps you, because let's say that you're just putting out pictures, random pictures, and you're not putting text on them or anything like that, and you're just putting out random pictures, and you don't have like an actual style in your pictures, because style is also part of branding. But let's say you don't have a particular style or a particular way that you do your images, and you're just putting out random stuff. Then if somebody sees one of your thumbnails somewhere else on YouTube, that's a fan of yours that really likes your content, and they'll watch it, whatever it is that you put out. They don't have any way to identify that it's yours without looking at that small little name tag that shows up in some places on YouTube. So because of that, you have your thumbnail, which is like the most prominent thing on the platform in terms of being presented to people all over the platform. So since you have that thumbnail to work with, branding your thumbnail, be it by putting a little mark on there in terms of like your logo, or by branding it in style, or by putting your face on there all the time, or something like that, but branding it in some way so that the people that are fans of yours, or that continually watching your content, so that those people can identify your content regardless of where it's presented to them on YouTube, or if somebody shares it out somewhere or whatever, they can know that it's yours just by looking at the thumbnail. Then you're increasing the rate that people are going to come in and that are already subscribed to your content and that enjoy your content already. You're going to increase the rate that they come in as well. So that's what the importance of branding your thumbnails is. Sean Smith says, would you know the easiest way to make a copyrighted song usable? Yes, buy the license to use it. That's the only way to do it. Let's see here. Important. Or, I mean, of course, I mean, you can also, if you go into the YouTube audio library, they have the option there to where you can use copyright protected songs, or they show you what songs that you can and can't use that are copyright protected. They have some in there that you can use to where they'll actually share the revenue with you, to where they'll get revenue and you'll get revenue, or they'll just take all the revenue, but you can still use the song. So there's those options too. All right. Crypto Cruising says, how important is long descriptions on your videos? It can be important, because in addition to ranking your videos in search on YouTube, you also have the opportunity to rank your videos in search on other search engines as well. And because of that, having long descriptions can also help you rank in other search engines as well as YouTube. So Google, Yahoo, MSN, all that stuff, it can help you there. Let's see here. Yep, still live. What are we at? 3 hours and 39 minutes. Okay. So that is where we are. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close this puppy down. So I just want to say thank you for, just because I got started so late. So I just want to say thank you for everybody that hung out in the stream today. Hopefully you learned something here. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Also, for this live stream, if you have any questions that weren't answered here during the live stream, once this video gets taken down, I'm going to make it public again for about 24 hours or so, because I'm going to experiment with some stuff, but I'm going to make it public for about 24 hours or so. So if there's anything that I didn't get to in terms of your question here, once I make this video public, go back and answer there, and I'll answer it in the comments of the video. So thank you so much for hanging out. I wish Dee could have been here with me as well, and I wish that we could have streamed in the normal situation that we do. But unfortunately, because of tech problems, we couldn't. So I'm glad that I was at least able to connect with you here. So thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time.